The second half kicks off, and the tension is electric. Both teams come out swinging, but it's Uruguay who makes the first move. They bring on Georgian de Arrascaeta, a creative genius, hoping to spark some magic. And, oh boy, does he deliver. Just 7 minutes into the second half, in the 52nd minute, Arrascaeta whips in a sensational curling cross. It finds its man, the powerhouse Darwin Núñez, who rises majestically and buries a perfect header into the back of the net. It's 2-2. The comeback is on. The Uruguayan fans are going absolutely ballistic, their hope reignited. The stadium is shaking. But hold on, Mexico isn't about to let this slip away. That equalizer seems to have poked the bear. They come roaring back with a vengeance, and in the 60th minute, we witness a moment of pure, unadulterated genius. Luis Chavez stands over a free kick, a good 25 yards from goal. The crowd holds its breath. He strikes it. Oh, what a strike! It's a rocket that curls magnificently, kissing the top corner of the net. The keeper is frozen, a mere spectator to its brilliance. An absolute worldie. Mexico retakes the lead, 3-2. The Mexican fans erupt in a symphony of joy and disbelief. What a goal. This goal completely shifts the momentum. The tide has turned and it's a green wave crashing down on Uruguay. Just 6 minutes later, disaster strikes for the sky blue defense. A shocking error at the back, and who's there to pounce on it? None other than Herving Chucky Lozano. He's a flash of lightning, sprinting past two defenders as if they were standing still. He's one-on-one with the keeper, and with ice in his veins he executes a delicate, cheeky chip over the sprawling goalkeeper. It's 4-2 Mexico. Absolute scenes in the stadium. The Mexican fans are in dreamland. Flags are waving, drums are beating, and chants of "Mexico, Mexico" echo through the night. What started as a balanced, nail-biting contest has exploded into a masterclass of attacking football from El Tri. Uruguay, who looked so strong just moments ago, suddenly finds their defense in shambles. They're struggling to cope with Mexico's relentless speed, their incisive passing, and their clinical finishing. Every time Mexico pushes forward, you can feel the panic in the Uruguayan backline. They look shell-shocked, unable to find an answer to this green tidal wave. The pace is frantic, the skill is dazzling, and the passion is overflowing. As the clock ticks down, Mexico is simply toying with Uruguay. They're passing the ball with a swagger, a confidence that comes from knowing the game is won. The olés start to ring out from the stands with every successful pass, a taunt that's both beautiful and brutal. Uruguay is chasing shadows, their energy drained, their spirits broken. They're throwing everything they have left forward in a desperate, last-ditch effort, but Mexico's defense stands firm, absorbing the pressure with ease. The final whistle can't come soon enough for the Celeste. It's a statement performance from Mexico, a whirlwind of goals and drama that left everyone breathless, an unforgettable half of football. What a ride that was! Pure passion, incredible goals, and drama until the very end. If you loved this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button, drop a comment with your favorite moment, and subscribe for more epic football stories. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Scene: intense football action. Game clock ticking past 80 minutes. The atmosphere is electric. The clock is ticking down, and we're entering the final 10 minutes of what has been an absolutely breathtaking match. Uruguay, trailing but not defeated, are throwing everything they have forward. They know it's now or never. Valverde, a force of nature all game, is on the ball, driving through the midfield, looking for that killer pass. He finds Darwin Núñez, who's been a constant menace, but once again, the wall of Mexico stands firm. Guillermo Ochoa. What a performance from the veteran keeper. He's been unbeatable, a true captain leading by example, making save after crucial save to deny Uruguay any glimmer of hope. The frustration is palpable on the faces of the Uruguayan players. They've given it their all, but Ochoa is simply in a league of his own tonight. Scene: focus on the Mexican defense, looking organized and resolute. Mexico is absorbing the pressure with incredible composure. You can see the tactical discipline drilled into this squad. They aren't just hoofing it clear, they're playing their way out of trouble, looking for the counterattack at every opportunity. The crowd is roaring with every tackle, every clearance. They can sense victory is close, but in football, you can never be too sure. Uruguay is relentless, sending cross after cross into the box. It's a siege on the Mexican goal, but the defenders are heading everything away, putting their bodies on the line. This is what it means to defend a lead, to fight for every inch of the pitch. The intensity is off the charts. Scene: Uriel Antuna is shown coming on as a substitute. And here comes a substitution for Mexico. A fresh pair of legs to see out the game, or perhaps to add a final flourish. It's Uriel Antuna, coming on with just minutes to spare. Sometimes these late substitutes can change the entire dynamic of a match. He's known for his blistering pace and his direct running. What an inspired move this could be from the Mexican coach, looking to exploit the space left behind by Uruguay's desperate attacks. Antuna jogs onto the pitch, receiving final instructions, a look of pure focus on his face. He knows his role. He knows what's at stake. The fans welcome him with a huge cheer, hoping he can be the one to put this game to bed for good. Ye seen the build-up and execution of Antuna's goal, shown in slow-motion replay. And there it is, the moment that seals the victory, the moment of sheer, unadulterated brilliance. It's the substitute, Uriel Antuna, in the 89th minute. He picks up the ball on the right wing with acres of green grass in front of him. He puts his head down and just goes for it. A mesmerizing solo run, pure pace and power. He glides past one defender as if he isn't even there, then another. He cuts inside, onto his favored foot, and with the entire stadium holding its breath, he unleashes an absolute rocket. The ball flies past the despairing dive of the goalkeeper and smashes into the back of the net. Goal. An incredible, unforgettable strike. Mexico 5, Uruguay 2. The stadium has just erupted into a symphony of celebration. Scene: wild celebrations from Mexican players, the bench, and the fans. Just look at the scenes. The Mexican bench has emptied. Players and staff embracing on the touchline. Pure elation etched on every face. Antuna is mobbed by his teammates, a hero's reception for a goal that will be replayed for years to come. This wasn't just a goal, it was a statement, a declaration of dominance, skill, and unstoppable energy. From start to finish, Mexico has delivered a masterclass in attacking football. Uruguay fought with heart and courage, but in the end, they were simply outmatched by the speed, the creativity, and the flawless execution of this Mexican side. This victory isn't just 3 points, it's a performance that will go down in the annals of their history as one of the finest of the season. What a game! What a team! What a night for Mexican football! Thank you all so much for joining us for this incredible match. If you enjoyed the commentary and the action, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more amazing football content. Until next time, take care. What an absolutely electric night of football. When that final whistle blew, the stadium erupted. The scoreboard told the story. Uruguay 2, Mexico 5. A comeback for the ages, and a performance that will be talked about for a very, very long time. You could see the sheer joy on the faces of the Mexican players as they gathered in the center circle. A sea of green, white, and red, united in victory. They embraced, they celebrated, and then they turned to the stands, waving to the thousands of fans who had roared them on for every single second. Chants of their names echoed around the stadium. A truly magical moment. And at the heart of it all was Santiago Giménez. What a performance! He was an absolute menace up front, a constant threat, and he capped it off with a crucial goal. It was no surprise when he was named man of the match. He was simply unplayable tonight, a true testament to his skill and work rate. But let's talk about that moment of pure genius from Luis Chavez. That free kick. Oh my goodness. The curve, the power, the precision. It was a thing of beauty. The moment the ball left his boot, you just knew. The net bulged, and social media absolutely exploded. Within minutes, clips of that goal were everywhere, and rightly so. It was one of those special goals that you'll be watching on repeat for days. Of course, football is a game of two sides, and you have to give immense credit to the Uruguayan fans. Despite the disappointment of the result, they stayed behind, applauding their team. They recognized the effort and the fighting spirit. It's that kind of passion that makes this sport so beautiful. Their players, especially stars like Valverde and Núñez, left everything out on that pitch. They never stopped running, never stopped fighting, but tonight, it just wasn't meant to be. Tonight belonged to Mexico. It was a story of incredible resilience. They went down early, and for a moment, you might have thought the pressure would get to them. But they didn't panic. They regrouped, they refocused, and they unleashed a storm that Uruguay simply couldn't handle. It was a spectacular comeback, built on teamwork and an unshakable belief in their game plan. After the match, we heard from the Mexican coach, and his words perfectly summed up their performance. He spoke about the team's discipline and unity, saying, "We knew we had to stay calm after that early goal. This win shows the heart of our team. We play with pride, passion, and belief." You could see that pride and passion in every tackle, every pass, and every single one of their 5 goals. This was a match that had everything a football fan could ever dream of. From the very first minute to the last, it was non-stop action. We had Darwin Núñez opening the scoring with a clinical strike, setting the stage for the drama that would unfold. And then, to cap it all off, we had that late rocket from Uriel Antuna, a goal that put the final exclamation point on an unforgettable night. Goals, drama, incredible skill, and unforgettable moments. This game delivered on all fronts, and that's the story of a thrilling showdown. Uruguay 2, Mexico 5. A masterclass of attacking football, teamwork, and determination. What a game to witness. Thank you so much for joining us for this breakdown. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more epic match stories and highlights. Which goal was your favorite? Let us know below. And stay tuned for more incredible football moments from the 2025-26 International AFC season. The second half kicks off, and the tension is electric. Both teams come out swinging, but it's Uruguay who makes the first move. They bring on Georgian de Arrascaeta, a creative genius, hoping to spark some magic. And, oh boy, does he deliver. Just 7 minutes into the second half, in the 52nd minute, Arrascaeta whips in a sensational curling cross. It finds its man, the powerhouse Darwin Núñez, who rises majestically and buries a perfect header into the back of the net. It's 2-2. The comeback is on. The Uruguayan fans are going absolutely ballistic, their hope reignited. The stadium is shaking. But hold on, Mexico isn't about to let this slip away. That equalizer seems to have poked the bear. They come roaring back with a vengeance. And in the 60th minute, we witness a moment of pure, unadulterated genius. Luis Chavez stands over a free kick, a good 25 yards from goal. The crowd holds its breath. He strikes it. Oh, what a strike! It's a rocket that curls magnificently, kissing the top corner of the net. The keeper is frozen, a mere spectator to its brilliance. An absolute worldie. Mexico retakes the lead, 3-2. The Mexican fans erupt in a symphony of joy and disbelief. What a goal! This goal completely shifts the momentum. The tide has turned, and it's a green wave crashing down on Uruguay. Just 6 minutes later, disaster strikes for the sky blue defense. A shocking error at the back, and who's there to pounce on it? None other than Herving Chucky Lozano. He's a flash of lightning, sprinting past 2 defenders as if they were standing still. He's one-on-one with the keeper, and with ice in his veins he executes a delicate, cheeky chip over the sprawling goalkeeper. It's 4-2 Mexico. Absolute scenes in the stadium. The Mexican fans are in dreamland. Flags are waving, drums are beating, and chants of "Mexico, Mexico" echo through the night. What started as a balanced, nail-biting contest has exploded into a masterclass of attacking football from El Tri. Uruguay, who looked so strong just moments ago, suddenly finds their defense in shambles. They're struggling to cope with Mexico's relentless speed, their incisive passing, and their clinical finishing. Every time Mexico pushes forward, you can feel the panic in the Uruguayan backline. They look shell-shocked, unable to find an answer to this green tidal wave. The pace is frantic, the skill is dazzling, and the passion is overflowing. As the clock ticks down, Mexico is simply toying with Uruguay. They're passing the ball with a swagger, a confidence that comes from knowing the game is won. The olés start to ring out from the stands with every successful pass, a taunt that's both beautiful and brutal. Uruguay is chasing shadows, their energy drained, their spirits broken. They're throwing everything they have left forward in a desperate, last-ditch effort, but Mexico's defense stands firm, absorbing the pressure with ease. The final whistle can't come soon enough for the Celeste. It's a statement performance from Mexico, a whirlwind of goals and drama that left everyone breathless, an unforgettable half of football. What a ride that was! Pure passion, incredible goals, and drama until the very end. If you loved this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button, drop a comment with your favorite moment, and subscribe for more epic football stories. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Scene: intense football action. Game clock ticking past 80 minutes. The atmosphere is electric. The clock is ticking down, and we're entering the final 10 minutes of what has been an absolutely breathtaking match. Uruguay, trailing but not defeated, are throwing everything they have forward. They know it's now or never. Valverde, a force of nature all game, is on the ball, driving through the midfield, looking for that killer pass. He finds Darwin Núñez, who's been a constant menace, but once again, the wall of Mexico stands firm. Guillermo Ochoa. What a performance from the veteran keeper. He's been unbeatable, a true captain leading by example, making save after crucial save to deny Uruguay any glimmer of hope. The frustration is palpable on the faces of the Uruguayan players. They've given it their all, but Ochoa is simply in a league of his own tonight. Scene: focus on the Mexican defense, looking organized and resolute. Mexico is absorbing the pressure with incredible composure. You can see the tactical discipline drilled into this squad. They aren't just hoofing it clear, they're playing their way out of trouble, looking for the counterattack at every opportunity. The crowd is roaring with every tackle, every clearance. They can sense victory is close, but in football, you can never be too sure. Uruguay is relentless, sending cross after cross into the box. It's a siege on the Mexican goal, but the defenders are heading everything away, putting their bodies on the line. This is what it means to defend a lead, to fight for every inch of the pitch. The intensity is off the charts. Scene: Uriel Antuna is shown coming on as a substitute. And here comes a substitution for Mexico. A fresh pair of legs to see out the game, or perhaps to add a final flourish. It's Uriel Antuna, coming on with just minutes to spare. Sometimes these late substitutes can change the entire dynamic of a match. He's known for his blistering pace and his direct running. What an inspired move this could be from the Mexican coach, looking to exploit the space left behind by Uruguay's desperate attacks. Antuna jogs onto the pitch, receiving final instructions, a look of pure focus on his face. He knows his role. He knows what's at stake. The fans welcome him with a huge cheer, hoping he can be the one to put this game to bed for good. Ye seen the build-up and execution of Antuna's goal, shown in slow-motion replay. And there it is, the moment that seals the victory, the moment of sheer, unadulterated brilliance. It's the substitute, Uriel Antuna, in the 89th minute. He picks up the ball on the right wing with acres of green grass in front of him. He puts his head down and just goes for it. A mesmerizing solo run, pure pace and power. He glides past one defender as if he isn't even there, then another. He cuts inside, onto his favored foot, and with the entire stadium holding its breath, he unleashes an absolute rocket. The ball flies past the despairing dive of the goalkeeper and smashes into the back of the net. Goal. An incredible, unforgettable strike. Mexico 5, Uruguay 2. The stadium has just erupted into a symphony of celebration. Scene: wild celebrations from Mexican players, the bench, and the fans. Just look at the scenes. The Mexican bench has emptied. Players and staff embracing on the touchline. Pure elation etched on every face. Antuna is mobbed by his teammates, a hero's reception for a goal that will be replayed for years to come. This wasn't just a goal, it was a statement, a declaration of dominance, skill, and unstoppable energy. From start to finish, Mexico has delivered a masterclass in attacking football. Uruguay fought with heart and courage, but in the end, they were simply outmatched by the speed, the creativity, and the flawless execution of this Mexican side. This victory isn't just 3 points, it's a performance that will go down in the annals of their history as one of the finest of the season. What a game! What a team! What a night for Mexican football! Thank you all so much for joining us for this incredible match. If you enjoyed the commentary and the action, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more amazing football content. Until next time, take care. What an absolutely electric night of football. When that final whistle blew, the stadium erupted. The scoreboard told the story. Uruguay 2, Mexico 5. A comeback for the ages, and a performance that will be talked about for a very, very long time. You could see the sheer joy on the faces of the Mexican players as they gathered in the center circle. A sea of green, white, and red, united in victory. They embraced, they celebrated, and then they turned to the stands, waving to the thousands of fans who had roared them on for every single second. Chants of their names echoed around the stadium. A truly magical moment. And at the heart of it all was Santiago Giménez. What a performance! He was an absolute menace up front, a constant threat, and he capped it off with a crucial goal. It was no surprise when he was named man of the match. He was simply unplayable tonight, a true testament to his skill and work rate. But let's talk about that moment of pure genius from Luis Chavez. That free kick, oh my goodness. The curve, the power, the precision. It was a thing of beauty. The moment the ball left his boot, you just knew. The net bulged, and social media absolutely exploded. Within minutes, clips of that goal were everywhere, and rightly so. It was one of those special goals that you'll be watching on repeat for days. Of course, football is a game of two sides, and you have to give immense credit to the Uruguayan fans. Despite the disappointment of the result, they stayed behind, applauding their team. They recognized the effort and the fighting spirit. It's that kind of passion that makes this sport so beautiful. Their players, especially stars like Valverde and Núñez, left everything out on that pitch. They never stopped running, never stopped fighting. But tonight, it just wasn't meant to be. Tonight belonged to Mexico. It was a story of incredible resilience. They went down early, and for a moment, you might have thought the pressure would get to them. But they didn't panic. They regrouped, they refocused, and they unleashed a storm that Uruguay simply couldn't handle. It was a spectacular comeback, built on teamwork and an unshakable belief in their game plan. After the match, we heard from the Mexican coach, and his words perfectly summed up their performance. He spoke about the team's discipline and unity, saying, "We knew we had to stay calm after that early goal. This win shows the heart of our team. We play with pride, passion, and belief." You could see that pride and passion in every tackle, every pass, and every single one of their 5 goals. This was a match that had everything a football fan could ever dream of. From the very first minute to the last, it was non-stop action. We had Darwin Núñez opening the scoring with a clinical strike, setting the stage for the drama that would unfold. And then, to cap it all off, we had that late rocket from Uriel Antuna. a goal that put the final exclamation point on an unforgettable night. Goals, drama, incredible skill, and unforgettable moments. This game delivered on all fronts, and that's the story of a thrilling showdown. Uruguay 2, Mexico 5, a masterclass of attacking football, teamwork, and determination. What a game to witness. Thank you so much for joining us for this breakdown. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more epic match stories and highlights. Which goal was your favorite? Let us know below. And stay tuned for more incredible football moments from the 2025-26 International AFC season. What an absolutely incredible night of football, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the highlights of a match that will be talked about for years to come. Belgium versus France in the Intercontinental UEFA League. The clash of titans. The atmosphere in Brussels was electric, a sea of red, yellow, and black roaring for their heroes. The French supporters, never to be outdone, brought their own symphony of chants, creating a wall of sound that was simply breathtaking. From the first whistle you could feel the tension, the raw desire. This wasn't just a game, it was a statement, and the action started almost immediately. Just 10 minutes in, Kylian Mbappé, the French superstar, reminded everyone why he's one of the best in the world. He picked up the ball on the left wing, cut inside with that trademark explosive speed, breezed past two defenders, and unleashed a thunderous strike into the top corner. An unstoppable goal. France took an early 1-0 lead, and their fans went wild. For a moment, it looked like Les Bleus were going to dominate, controlling the midfield with their crisp passing and fluid movement. Belgium looked a bit stunned, trying to find their rhythm against the relentless French pressure. But this Belgian team, the Red Devils, has a spirit that never dies. They absorbed the pressure, regrouped, and started to push back. And their reward came in the 28th minute. A beautiful, flowing move started from their own half. The ball found its way to Kevin De Bruyne. Who else? With visionary genius, he sliced open the French defense with a perfectly weighted through ball. Romelu Lukaku, with his immense power, held off his marker, took one touch, and calmly slotted it past the goalkeeper. 1-1. The stadium erupted. The game was back on, balanced on a knife's edge. The first half ended in a stalemate, but it set the stage for an even more dramatic second half. The second half began with both teams flying out of the blocks, hungry for the lead. Chances came and went at both ends, but it was France who struck again. In the 65th minute, a corner kick caused chaos in the Belgian box. The ball bounced around, and Antoine Griezmann, with his poacher's instinct, was the quickest to react, poking it home from close range. 2-1 to France. The French bench celebrated, believing they had landed the decisive blow. It was a tough pill for the Belgian fans to swallow, but their team wasn't done yet. Not by a long shot. With the clock ticking down, Belgium threw everything forward. And then, in the 82nd minute, magic happened. A moment of pure brilliance from a rising star. Jeremy Doku received the ball on the wing, danced past his defender with mesmerizing footwork, and whipped in a pinpoint cross. Leaping highest in the box was none other than Romelu Lukaku, who powered a magnificent header into the back of the net. 2-2. An incredible comeback. The Belgian fans were in dreamland. The momentum had completely shifted. You could feel it in the air. The French team looked rattled while Belgium surged with newfound confidence. With just moments left in stoppage time, the unthinkable happened. De Bruyne, once again the architect, spotted a run from deep. A long, defense-splitting pass found substitute Leandro Trossard, who had timed his run to perfection. He controlled it beautifully, took a breath, and with ice in his veins, curled the ball into the far corner of the net. 3-2 to Belgium. Absolute pandemonium. The final whistle blew moments later, sealing a legendary victory. What a comeback! What a game! Belgium takes the win in a 5-goal thriller that showcased the very best of European football. This is a night that will go down in history. Thank you so much for watching these incredible highlights. What was your favorite moment of the match? Let us know in the comments below. Scene: intense football action on screen. Commentators are animated. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the most electrifying match of the tournament. France had the early lead, but if you thought Belgium was out of this fight, you were sorely mistaken. We're approaching the 35-minute mark and the tension is absolutely palpable. You can feel something building, a shift in the air, as the Belgian fans roar their team on, refusing to let their spirits die. And there it is. Belgium breaks. It's a stunning counterattack, orchestrated by the master himself, Kevin De Bruyne. Look at that vision. He spots the run and threads a perfect defense-splitting through ball to Jeremy Doku tearing down the wing. Doku is pure electricity. He receives it, takes a touch, and drives at the French defense. He cuts inside, showing incredible pace and agility, dancing past one defender, then another. He's in a dangerous position. He looks up and delivers a blistering low cross right into the heart of the box. Who's there to meet it? Of course it's him, Romelu Lukaku. The big man, the powerhouse, has been waiting for this moment. He positions himself perfectly, gets onto the end of that cross with a single, decisive touch, and unleashes a ferocious strike. It's in. Goal. The ball rockets into the top corner, leaving Maignan with absolutely no chance. The Belgian fans have erupted. The stadium is a sea of black, yellow, and red. We are level. It's Belgium 1, France 1. What a finish. What a response. You can see it on their faces. The entire dynamic of this game has just been flipped on its head. The goal has breathed new life into the Red Devils. Their confidence is back, and it's soaring. They're playing with a renewed fire, pressing high up the pitch, winning every 50-50 challenge and forcing the world champions onto the back foot. France is suddenly looking rattled, defending deeper and deeper, struggling to cope with this Belgian onslaught. The momentum has completely swung. And they're not done yet. We're heading towards halftime, just moments away now in the 44th minute. Belgium has possession again, probing the French defense. The ball finds its way to Yuri Tielemans about 30 yards out from goal. The French players are giving him a bit of space, and that's a fatal mistake. Tielemans looks up, takes a touch to set himself, and unleashes an absolute rocket. It's a long-range screamer. The ball swerves and curls beautifully through the air, heading for the top corner. Maignan dives, stretching every sinew, but he can't get there. It kisses the back of the net. Goal. An absolute stunner from Yuri Tielemans. Unbelievable. Belgium has turned this game completely around, from 1-0 down to a 2-1 lead just before the break. The stadium is shaking to its very foundations. The noise is deafening. What a comeback. What a display of character and quality from this Belgian side. They've clawed their way back and have now taken the lead with 2 moments of pure brilliance. There goes the halftime whistle. The players head down the tunnel, but the excitement is just getting started. The French team looks stunned while the Belgians are walking tall, full of belief. This match is proving to be everything we hoped for and more. We've witnessed a sensational turnaround, but with 45 minutes still to play and superstars on both sides, this epic battle is far from over. What did you think of that incredible first half? Let me know your predictions for the second half in the comments below. What a night of football drama, passion, and pure energy. Under the bright lights of Colombo Stadium, the air was electric. Fans from across Sri Lanka gathered, waving flags and singing chants, hoping their team would pull off something special. But then, disaster struck for the home side. Around the 20-minute mark, Turkmenistan's relentless pressure paid off. A swift series of passes cut through the Sri Lankan defense, and a clinical finish from their star striker silenced the crowd. 1-0 to Turkmenistan. You could see the disappointment on the players' faces, but they didn't give up. Sri Lanka rallied, trying to find an equalizer before halftime. They won a couple of free kicks in dangerous areas, but the Turkmen defense stood tall, clearing every cross and blocking every shot. Just when it seemed Sri Lanka might be gaining some momentum, Turkmenistan hit them with a sucker punch. A lightning-fast counterattack just before the break saw them double their lead. 2-0. It was a brutal blow, leaving the home team with a mountain to climb in the second half. As the second half kicked off, Sri Lanka came out with renewed determination. They knew they had to score early to have any chance. They made a couple of substitutions, bringing on fresh legs and more attacking players. The crowd, sensing the urgency, found their voice again, cheering on every forward pass. And then it happened. Around the 60th minute, a moment of individual brilliance. A Sri Lankan midfielder went on a dazzling run, weaving past 2 defenders before unleashing a thunderous shot from outside the box. The ball rocketed into the top corner. The stadium erupted. 2-1. Suddenly, there was hope. The game was back on, and the atmosphere was absolutely buzzing. Could they complete the comeback? Inspired by the goal, Sri Lanka poured forward, searching for the equalizer. They were playing with fire, leaving themselves exposed at the back, but they had to take the risk. For the next 15 minutes, it was all Sri Lanka. They created several chances, with one shot hitting the post and another forcing a world-class save from the Turkmenistan goalkeeper. The tension was unbearable. Every attack felt like it could be the one. The fans were on their feet, screaming, urging their team on. But as they pushed for the goal, a costly mistake at the back proved fatal. In the 85th minute, a misplaced pass was intercepted, and Turkmenistan launched one final decisive counterattack. With players out of position, the striker found himself one-on-one with the keeper and calmly slotted it home. 3-1. That goal sealed the deal. The final whistle blew, and it was a victory for Turkmenistan. A tough 3-1 loss for Sri Lanka on home soil. The players looked dejected, but the fans gave them a standing ovation, appreciating the fight and the heart they showed, especially in that thrilling second half. It was a night of highs and lows, of brilliant goals and costly errors. Everything we love about football. While the result wasn't what the home crowd wanted, the performance showed glimpses of promise. The journey in the AFC Asian qualifiers is long, and this team will learn and grow from this experience. What a match. What a roller coaster of emotions. Thank you all for tuning in to these highlights. If you enjoyed the action, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you never miss another match. We'll see you for the next one. The atmosphere was electric, and you could feel the tension building with every pass. The first real moment of danger arrived in the 18th minute. Turkmenistan's captain, Arslan Mayrat Amanov, decided to have a go from distance. He unleashed an absolute rocket from outside the box. The ball swerved and dipped, a beautiful, venomous strike heading for the top corner. But Sri Lanka's goalkeeper, Dilshan Pereira, was not about to be beaten. He launched himself into a spectacular full-stretch dive, tipping the ball over the bar. The entire stadium gasped. What a save! It was a clear warning shot from Turkmenistan, a sign of their attacking intent. And that warning, well, it wasn't heeded for long. In the 26th minute, Turkmenistan produced a moment of pure footballing brilliance. A quick, incisive 1-2 between Altimirat Anadurdiev and his teammate completely sliced open the Sri Lankan defense. It was poetry in motion. Anadurdiev found himself with space inside the penalty area, and with ice in his veins, he coolly slotted the ball past the keeper and into the far corner. Goal for Turkmenistan. It's 1-0. The small contingent of away fans erupted, their cheers echoing around a stunned home stadium. The Sri Lankan players looked momentarily shell-shocked. But you know what? They refused to let their heads drop. On the touchline, Coach Chaminda Silva was a whirlwind of energy, shouting instructions urging his players to regroup and stay focused. His passion was infectious, and it seemed to light a fire under his team. And just 7 minutes later, the response came. Sri Lanka's star forward, Sunil Roshan, picked up the ball on the right flank. He was a man on a mission, embarking on a dazzling run, weaving past not one but two defenders. He cut inside, looked up, and whipped in a dangerous curling cross towards the 6-yard box. The Turkmen keeper came out to claim it but completely misjudged the flight of the ball. It sailed over his outstretched hands, and who was there? Ghosting in at the back post. None other than Nuwan Pereira. He rose highest and powered a header into the back of the net. Goal for Sri Lanka. It's 1-1. The stadium absolutely exploded. The home fans were on their feet, a wall of sound, chanting, jumping, and believing once more. In that moment of pure elation, it felt like the impossible was within reach. What a game we have on our hands. Don't go anywhere, because the action is just getting started. If you're enjoying this commentary, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you do not miss a single moment. Thanks for watching, and let's get back to the game. The referee's whistle blows, its sharp sound echoing through the packed stadium, signaling the end of a hard-fought battle. The final score is on the giant screen for all to see. Sri Lanka 1, Turkmenistan 3. Tonight was a roller coaster of emotions for everyone involved. For the visiting Turkmenistan side, it's a massive victory, securing 3 crucial points that significantly bolster their hopes of qualifying for the next stage. Their journey forward looks brighter than ever. But for the home team, Sri Lanka, It's a moment of heartbreak, yet one tinged with undeniable pride. They left everything on the pitch. Against a team that was, on paper, technically superior, they showed immense fight, unwavering courage, and moments of genuine brilliance that had the home crowd roaring with excitement. This wasn't a surrender. It was a statement of intent, a promise of what's to come. In the post-match press conference, the atmosphere was a mix of celebration and reflection. Turkmenistan's coach was full of praise for his players. "We knew coming here would be a serious challenge," he stated, gesturing towards the still buzzing stands. The atmosphere was electric, and the pressure was on. But my boys stayed disciplined. They kept their cool, and most importantly, they executed our game plan perfectly. Their finishing was clinical, and that's what made the difference tonight. He spoke with the quiet confidence of a man whose strategy had paid off exactly as planned. On the other side of the coin, Sri Lanka's captain faced the media with his head held high, his voice steady despite the sting of defeat. He looked directly at the cameras and spoke not of loss, but of growth. "This is not the end for us," he declared with conviction. "This is just the beginning. Every single match is a lesson, and tonight we learned a lot. We are a young team, we are growing together, and we are getting stronger with every game." He then turned his attention to the fans. The support we felt out there tonight was absolutely incredible. To hear them chanting, to see the flags waving even after the final whistle, that gives us the strength to keep going. I promise you, we will use this experience and we will come back stronger. His words resonated deeply. As the fans slowly began to file out of the stadium, the sense of disappointment was still there, but it was overshadowed by a resilient spirit. They were still chanting their team's name, waving their national flags proudly. They understood that this is the very essence of football, a beautiful, unpredictable game filled with euphoric highs and crushing lows, glorious victories and invaluable lessons. A single defeat doesn't define a team's journey, especially not when it's faced with such heart. So, as the floodlights dim over the stadium, two teams head back to their dressing rooms with entirely different, yet equally powerful motivations for the road ahead. As the AFC Asian Qualifiers 2025-26 continue to unfold, both Sri Lanka and Turkmenistan will carry the memories of this night with them. One side will be fueled by the sweet taste of victory, eager to build on their momentum. The other will be driven by a burning desire for redemption, determined to prove that their spirit is unbreakable. This match was more than just a result. It was a chapter in two compelling stories. And that's all from this thrilling encounter. Sri Lanka 1, Turkmenistan 3. If you enjoyed this highlight story, don't forget to like, subscribe, What is up, football fans? You are not going to believe what just happened on the pitch tonight. We are live with the highlights from the Intercontinental World Cup, the FIFA Confederations Cup 2025-26, and this match between Northern Ireland and Luxembourg. It was pure, unadulterated madness. The final score, 4-4. Yes, you heard that right, an 8-goal thriller. What a match! On paper, this might have looked like a straightforward game, but it turned into an unforgettable roller coaster of drama, goals, and raw emotion. Inside the electric atmosphere of the Intercontinental Stadium, under those dazzling lights, these two nations gave us a battle that will go down in history. From the very first whistle, you could feel the intensity. Northern Ireland, with their famous fighting spirit, came out with confidence. But Luxembourg, the absolute surprise package of this tournament, were determined to prove their rise in the footballing world is for real. The crowd was buzzing, flags were waving, and the chants were deafening. And then, boom! The action started immediately. Just 6 minutes in, Josh McGuinness connected with a perfect pass from Paddy McNair and unleashed an absolute rocket into the top corner. 1-0 to Northern Ireland. The Green and White Army went wild. It was the perfect start, but nobody, and I mean nobody, could have predicted the goal fest that was about to unfold. Luxembourg didn't just sit back. They responded with fury. At the 15-minute mark, Gerson Rodriguez picked up the ball, danced past two defenders, and slotted it coolly past the keeper. 1-1. The Luxembourg fans, though outnumbered, made their presence known. The game was on. The pace was relentless, with both sides trading blows like heavyweight boxers. Then, a moment of controversy. A penalty was awarded to Northern Ireland after a VAR check for a handball. Captain Stephen Davis stepped up, cool as you like, and sent the keeper the wrong way. 2-1. Northern Ireland was back in front. But hold on, the drama was just getting started. Just before halftime, Luxembourg's Danel Sinani curled a spectacular free kick over the wall and into the net. An absolute stunner. 2-2 at the break. We all needed a moment to catch our breath. The second half began with the same blistering pace. Northern Ireland retook the lead again. A brilliant counterattack saw Connor Washington round the keeper to make it 3-2. The stadium was bouncing. It felt like they might finally take control of the game. But Luxembourg, this incredible Luxembourg side, simply refused to give up. Their star player, Vincent Thill, equalized with a magnificent solo effort, weaving through the defense to make it 3-3. What is happening? You thought it was over. Not a chance. In the 85th minute, a corner for Northern Ireland caused chaos in the box, and Johnny Evans was there to poke it home. 4-3. Surely that was the winner. The Northern Irish bench erupted. The fans were in dreamland. It seemed like the 3 points were secured, but in the dying moments of stoppage time, the final, unbelievable twist. Luxembourg threw everyone forward for one last attack. The ball was whipped into the box, and after a frantic scramble it fell to substitute Laurent Jean, who smashed it into the roof of the net. 4-4. Absolute scenes. The final whistle blew on one of the most incredible draws you will ever see. An 8-goal thriller, a roller coaster of emotions, and a testament to the spirit of both teams. This wasn't just a football match. It was an epic. Both teams leave with a point, but they gave us a memory that will last a lifetime. What an advertisement for the beautiful game. Thank you so much for watching these insane highlights with us. If you loved the action, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss another moment from this incredible tournament. Let us know in the comments what was your favorite goal. Until next time, take care. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you thought the first half was exciting, you haven't seen anything yet. The second half of this Northern Ireland versus Luxembourg clash was pure, unadulterated football chaos, and I'm here to walk you through every heart-stopping moment. From the second the whistle blew, it was clear both teams were leaving everything on the pitch. There was no sitting back, no playing it safe. This was end-to-end, high-stakes football. the kind we all live for. Northern Ireland came out of the locker room looking like a team on a mission, pressing high up the pitch and really taking the game to Luxembourg, and their relentless pressure paid off just 10 minutes into the second half. A beautifully delivered corner kick from Paddy McNair came swinging into the box. Rising above everyone like a salmon leaping upstream was the veteran defender Johnny Evans. He met the ball perfectly, powering a header straight into the back of the net. It's 3-2 to Northern Ireland. Windsor Park absolutely erupted. The noise was deafening, the chants echoing around the ground as the green and white army celebrated. It felt like they had wrestled back control of the match. For a moment, it seemed like they were on their way to victory. But, as we all know, football is a funny old game. Luxembourg, to their immense credit, refused to be beaten. In the 63rd minute, a moment of absolute disaster for Northern Ireland. A lapse in concentration, a sloppy back pass, and suddenly, Daniel Sinani was onto it like a flash. He pounced on the mistake, coolly rounded the onrushing goalkeeper, and slotted the ball into the empty net. Just like that, it's 3-3. You could feel the air get sucked out of the stadium. The tension was suddenly immense. The game was balanced on a knife's edge once again. And then came the moment that will be replayed for years to come. The 72nd minute. The ball falls to Luxembourg's Gerson Rodriguez, a good 25 yards out from goal. Most players would look for a pass, maybe try to build an attack, not Rodriguez. He only had one thing on his mind. He unleashed an absolute thunderbolt, a scorching volley that rocketed through the air and nestled into the top corner of the net. An unbelievable strike, an absolute worldie. The Luxembourg players and staff on the bench went completely wild, pouring onto the pitch in celebration. It was 4-3 to the underdogs. They were celebrating as if they'd just won the World Cup final, and honestly, who could blame them? It was a goal worthy of winning any match. But this Northern Ireland team has a spirit that's hard to break. They were down, but they were far from out. With the crowd roaring them on, you could see the determination in their eyes. They still had a spark left, a final fight to give. Was there another twist left in this incredible tale? You bet there was. Stick with me as we head into the nail-biting final minutes of one of the most dramatic games you will ever see. What a roller coaster of emotions this match has been. If you're enjoying this breakdown of a modern classic, do me a huge favor and hit that like button. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss another epic football story. Thanks for watching, and let's get back to the action. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a match that will be talked about for years to come. A roller coaster of emotions, a true testament to the spirit of football. We're talking about the incredible clash between Northern Ireland and Luxembourg. This wasn't just a game. It was a drama in 90 minutes with a finale that left everyone breathless. So, grab your seats, because you're going to want to relive every moment of this unforgettable contest. The match started with an intensity you could feel through the screen. Luxembourg, often seen as the underdog, came out swinging. Just 8 minutes in, Gerson Rodriguez, a name we'd hear again, stunned the home crowd. He capitalized on a defensive mix-up, coolly slotting the ball home to give Luxembourg an early 1-0 lead. The stadium fell silent. But Northern Ireland, known for their resilience, didn't panic. They began to build pressure, wave after wave of attack, with Johnny Evans and Paddy McNair orchestrating from the back. Their efforts paid off in the 25th minute when a brilliant cross found Josh McGuinness, who rose like a salmon to head the ball into the net. 1-1. The crowd roared back to life, and it was game on. The first half was a tactical battle, a chess match played on grass, setting the stage for what was to come. As the second half kicked off, the tension was palpable. Both teams knew the next goal would be crucial, and it was Luxembourg who struck again. In the 52nd minute, a lightning-fast counterattack caught Northern Ireland off guard. Gerson Rodriguez, once more the man of the moment, found himself in space and unleashed a thunderous strike that flew into the top corner. 2-1 to Luxembourg. It was a goal worthy of any stage, a moment of individual brilliance that left the keeper with no chance. The visiting fans were in dreamland, while a sense of dread began to creep around the home stadium. Was this going to be one of those nights for Northern Ireland? Their response was immediate and fierce. The manager made some bold changes, bringing on fresh legs and shifting to a more attacking formation. The message was clear: we are not giving up. What followed was pure, unadulterated football chaos. In the 65th minute, from a corner kick, the ball bounced around the box like a pinball before falling to the feet of defender Kieran Brown, who smashed it home from close range. 2-2. The stadium erupted. But the drama was far from over. Just 7 minutes later, Luxembourg retook the lead. A beautifully worked team goal, finished off by Daniel Sinani, made it 3-2. It was a sucker punch, a cruel twist that seemed to deflate the home side, yet this Northern Ireland team simply refused to lie down. In the 83rd minute, it was Paddy McNair's turn to be the hero. He found a pocket of space on the edge of the area and curled a magnificent shot into the far corner. 3-3. The noise was deafening. Surely that was it? But this game had one more unbelievable chapter left to write. As the clock ticked toward the 90th minute, Northern Ireland threw everything forward, long balls, desperate crosses, but Luxembourg defended with their lives. Their goalkeeper, Anthony Morris, pulled off 2 incredible, match-winning saves that seemed to seal their fate. Then, in the dying minutes, heartbreak turned into pure, unadulterated joy for Northern Ireland. In the 89th minute, Connor Washington, who had come off the bench, became the hero. A long ball was flicked on by McGuinness. Washington sprinted past the defenders, and with ice-cold composure he slotted it into the corner of the net. 4-4. The entire stadium exploded. Players, fans, even the coaching staff couldn't contain themselves. It was a moment of absolute pandemonium. The roar was deafening. Both teams, exhausted but inspired, gave every last ounce of energy in stoppage time. When the referee's final whistle blew, applause rained down from every corner of the stadium. It wasn't a victory for either side, but it felt like one. A game that truly captured the heart and soul of international football. What a match. It had everything: spectacular goals, defensive heroics, and a narrative that kept us on the edge of our seats until the very end. This is why we love football. Thank you so much for joining me to relive this incredible game. If you enjoyed this breakdown, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss another deep dive into the beautiful game. Until next time, take care. Hello, everyone, and welcome to a night of football that will be etched in history forever. What we've just witnessed is nothing short of a miracle. This isn't just a match report. This is the story of David versus Goliath, played out on the grandest stage of the Intercontinental World FIFA Cup. The final score: Luxembourg 4, Germany 2. Yes, you heard that right. Luxembourg, the perennial underdogs, have toppled one of the titans of world football. The stadium was buzzing with an energy you could feel through the screen. Luxembourg supporters, a sea of red and white, were incredible. Their passion, their songs, their unwavering hope created an atmosphere that was simply electric. They came expecting a fight, but even in their wildest dreams, they couldn't have imagined this. On the other side, Germany strode onto the pitch with the confidence you expect from a team boasting superstars like Kimmich, the ever-dazzling Musiala, the lightning-fast Sané, and the clinical Kai Havertz. On paper, it was a mismatch. But football isn't played on paper. It's played with heart, with passion, and with an unbreakable belief. And from the very first whistle, Luxembourg showed they had all three in abundance. They didn't sit back. They didn't park the bus. They took the game to Germany with a courage that was breathtaking. The press was relentless, the passing was crisp, and they moved with a sense of purpose that rattled their more decorated opponents. Germany looked stunned, unsure how to handle this small nation that refused to bow down. Every tackle was met with a roar from the crowd, every forward pass a surge of adrenaline. Then, the moment that made everyone believe. Against all odds, Luxembourg opened the scoring. It wasn't a lucky break or a defensive error. It was a beautifully crafted team goal, finished with absolute precision. The stadium erupted. The sound was deafening. You could see the shock on the German players' faces. They tried to respond as champions do, launching wave after wave of attack. But Luxembourg's defense, marshaled with incredible discipline, stood firm like a fortress. They blocked shots, they made last-ditch tackles, and their goalkeeper was simply heroic. Just when you thought it couldn't get any crazier, Luxembourg scored again. And then a third. It was surreal, like something out of a movie. Each goal was a testament to their incredible teamwork and fighting spirit. Germany managed to pull one back, of course. A moment of individual brilliance reminded everyone of their quality. The tension was unbearable. Could Luxembourg hold on? The German machine was in full swing, pushing for an equalizer. They got a second, and you could feel the momentum shifting. The home fans grew anxious. But this was Luxembourg's night. In a stunning counterattack with just minutes left on the clock, they sealed the deal with a fourth goal. The final whistle blew, and pure, unadulterated joy exploded across the stadium. Players fell to their knees in tears, fans were hugging strangers, and the world watched in disbelief. This 4-2 victory isn't just a win. It's a statement. It's a story that proves in football anything is possible. It's a reminder of why we love this beautiful game. A night of football madness, indeed. What an incredible story. This is a result that will be talked about for generations. Thank you so much for joining me to relive this historic moment. If you enjoyed this breakdown, please give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss another epic football story. Until next time, keep the passion for the game alive. All right, let's dive right back into the action. The second half kicks off, and it's exactly what we all expected. Germany comes roaring out of the gates, looking like a completely different team. They are absolutely relentless, launching attack after attack, pressing from every conceivable angle. They know they need to get back into this game, and they're not wasting any time. The pressure is immense, and you can just feel the tension building with every pass. It doesn't take long for their efforts to bear fruit. Just 10 minutes into the second half, the German machine finally clicks into gear. Joshua Kimmich, with his trademark precision, whips in a perfect cross. It finds Kai Havertz in the box, who makes no mistake and coolly taps it into the back of the net. It's 2-1. The German fans erupt, and a wave of relief washes over their side of the stadium. The comeback is on. With that goal, the entire dynamic of the match shifts. Suddenly, Germany's passes are crisper, their movements are sharper, and their shots carry a new level of menace. It feels like it's only a matter of time before they find the equalizer. The Luxembourg defense is under siege. Leroy Sané unleashes a rocket of a shot that smacks against the post, inches away from tying the game. Then, the young magician, Jamal Musiala, weaves through the defense and forces an absolutely world-class save from Anthony Morris. The Luxembourg goalkeeper is having the game of his life, pulling off one incredible stop after another. It seems like he's a one-man wall. For a moment, you could be forgiven for thinking that this is it, that Luxembourg's fairy tale is about to end. The pressure is suffocating. But here's the thing about this Luxembourg team. They have the heart of a lion. They refuse to break. They bend, but they don't snap. They stay organized. They defend as a single, unified block, putting their bodies on the line with every tackle and every clearance. They are waiting, patiently, for their one chance, their one moment to hit back. And then, in the 68th minute, that moment arrives. It's a textbook counterattack, executed with breathtaking speed and precision. Danel Sinani, who has been a thorn in Germany's side all night, breaks free. He ghosts past Antonio Rudiger with a brilliant piece of skill, looks up, and squares the ball perfectly to his partner in crime, Gerson Rodriguez. Rodriguez takes one touch and then, bang! He smashes it into the goal. It's 3-1 to Luxembourg. Unbelievable. The stadium absolutely explodes into a scene of pure, unadulterated chaos and joy. The tiny nation of Luxembourg is once again leading the mighty Germany by 2 goals. You simply cannot write this stuff. What a game. What do you all think? Can Germany possibly come back from this a second time? Or is this the greatest upset we've seen in years? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. And if you're enjoying this incredible story, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss what happens next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. What a start to this match. Right from the kickoff, Luxembourg came out swinging, pressing high and showing absolutely zero fear. They were here to make a statement, and boy, did they deliver. Just 9 minutes in, they sent a massive shockwave through the entire stadium. A beautiful, incisive, long pass from Leandro Barreiro sliced right through the heart of the German defense. Who was on the end of it? None other than Luxembourg's hero, Gerson Rodriguez. He latched onto it with blistering pace, one touch to set himself, and then, wham! He unleashed a rocket that flew into the top corner of the net. 1-0 to Luxembourg. The crowd just erupted. You could feel the stunned silence, the sheer disbelief, coming from the German supporters. This was not in the script. This was never supposed to happen, but it did. Germany, to their credit, tried to wrestle back control. They started to slow the game down, dominating possession, stringing together those precise passes we're so used to seeing from them. They were trying to impose their will on the game. But Luxembourg, they were having none of it. They were absolutely relentless. They were hungry, chasing down every loose ball, battling fiercely for every single duel. Their defensive line was a solid wall, organized and unyielding. Just when you thought Germany might find a way back, Luxembourg struck again. And this second blow? It hit even harder than the first. We're in the 26th minute, and Luxembourg launch a lightning-fast counterattack. The ball finds its way to the feet of Vincent Thill, just on the edge of the penalty area. He takes a quick look up, spots the German goalkeeper just a few yards off his line, and with incredible composure he curls a sensational shot. It was a thing of beauty, dipping perfectly under the crossbar and nestling into the back of the net. 2-0 to Luxembourg. The underdogs weren't just barking, they were biting, and biting hard. Germany looked completely rattled, stunned. They didn't know what had hit them. The first half whistle blew, and the scoreboard read Luxembourg 2, Germany 0. Fans everywhere, whether in the stadium or watching at home, were rubbing their eyes, scarcely believing what they had just witnessed. As the second half got underway, everyone was asking the same question. Could Germany, the 4-time world champions, possibly turn this around? The pressure was immense. You could see the German players came out with a renewed sense of urgency. They were pushing forward in waves, throwing everything they had at the Luxembourg goal. Pass after pass, cross after cross, they were desperately searching for that breakthrough. But the Luxembourg defense, led by their colossal center-backs, held firm. They were blocking shots, making last-ditch tackles, and heading away every single high ball. Their goalkeeper was having the game of his life, pulling off save after incredible save. Then, around the hour mark, Germany finally found a chink in the armor. A clever through ball found its way to their star striker who, with a clinical finish, slotted the ball home. 2-1. The German fans erupted. Was this the start of the comeback? You could feel the momentum shift. The tension in the stadium was palpable. Germany was now camped in Luxembourg's half, relentlessly attacking. It felt like an equalizer was inevitable. The minutes ticked by, feeling like hours for the Luxembourg supporters. Every clearance was met with a cheer, every German attack with a collective gasp. But this was Luxembourg's night. Despite the relentless German onslaught, they held on. The final whistle blew, and the stadium exploded into a sea of red, white, and blue. Luxembourg had done the unthinkable. They had defeated the mighty Germany. The players dropped to their knees, some in tears of joy, others in sheer exhaustion. They had left everything out on that pitch. This wasn't just a win, it was a historic victory. A David versus Goliath story played out in front of the entire world. A night that will be etched in football history forever. What a game. What a result. Thank you so much for joining me for this incredible story. If you enjoyed this breakdown, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss our next video. We'll see you next time. Friends, football lovers, welcome back. Today, we're diving deep into a match that will be talked about for generations. Picture this. The mighty Germany, a four-time World Cup champion, is on the ropes against the ultimate underdog, Luxembourg. The score is already a shocking 3-1, but the Germans are throwing everything they have at the Luxembourg defense. They're making substitutions. They're changing their tactics. They're launching desperate long shots from every angle imaginable. But on this magical night, Luxembourg's spirit was simply unbreakable. Every German attack was met with a wall of red shirts, and every defensive stop felt like a small victory in itself. The tension in the stadium was electric. Could Luxembourg hold on? Or would the German machine finally find a way to break them down? It was a classic David versus Goliath story playing out right before our eyes, and the world was watching, breathless. For every German push, Luxembourg had an answer, and their answer was pure, lightning-fast counter-attacking football. It was a masterclass in soaking up pressure and then striking with venomous speed. They weren't just clearing the ball, they were launching coordinated attacks that stretched the German defense to its absolute limits. You could see the frustration growing on the faces of the German players. They'd press and press, only to find themselves sprinting back towards their own goal moments later, chasing the shadows of the Luxembourg forwards. It was a tactical masterpiece, a testament to their coach's game plan and the players' incredible discipline and belief. They weren't just defending for their lives. They were waiting, patiently, for the perfect moment to pounce and deliver the final decisive blow. And, oh boy, did that moment come. The 78th minute. This is the moment that will be etched into the heart of every Luxembourg fan forever. Germany has a corner kick, another chance to claw their way back into the game. The ball is whipped into the box, but Luxembourg's defense stands tall once again. The ball is cleared, and what happens next is pure football poetry. A counterattack is launched with such blistering pace it felt like a blur. In just a handful of seconds, the ball traveled the entire length of the pitch. The German team was caught completely off guard. The ball finds its way to Barreiro, who spots the run. He plays a perfect defense-splitting through ball to Thill, who is storming forward. Now, many players in this position, with a chance for glory, would have taken the shot themselves. But this was a team united by a single purpose. Thill, in an incredible display of unselfishness and awareness, sees his teammate in a better position. He squares the ball across the face of the goal to Gerson Rodriguez. The stadium holds its breath. Time seems to slow down. With the weight of a nation on his shoulders, Rodriguez is the calmest man in the stadium. He takes a touch, looks up, and with ice-cold composure, slots the ball past the helpless German goalkeeper. 4-1 to Luxembourg. The stadium erupts, an explosion of pure, unadulterated joy. The noise is deafening. Fans are on their feet, screaming, hugging strangers, many with tears of disbelief streaming down their faces. The entire Luxembourg bench, substitutes and coaching staff included, sprints onto the pitch, piling on top of each other in a chaotic, beautiful celebration. This wasn't just a goal, it was the coronation. It was the moment a dream turned into reality. This was the decisive blow that transformed a potential upset into a legendary historic victory. The image of the players celebrating, the sheer disbelief and ecstasy on their faces, is one that will define Luxembourgish football for decades to come. To their credit, Germany didn't give up. They kept fighting, and in the 88th minute, the phenomenal Jamal Musiala showed his class. Thank you so much for joining me to relive this incredible piece of football history. What did you think of this monumental upset? Let me know in the comments below. And if you love stories like this, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content. We'll see you in the next one. The final whistle blows, and for a moment, silence. Then an eruption. The entire stadium, a sea of red, white, and blue, explodes in a roar that shakes the very foundations of the pitch. Look at the scoreboard. Luxembourg 4, Germany 2. Time seems to stop. Players drop to their knees, overcome with emotion, tears of joy streaming down their faces. The crowd chants their names, each syllable a testament to the history just made. This isn't just a football match. This is a fairy tale written in real time. Luxembourg, the small nation with a lion's heart, has just toppled a giant of world football in a FIFA Intercontinental World Cup clash that will be etched into the annals of the sport forever. The hero of the night, none other than Gerson Rodriguez. With 2 breathtaking goals and a crucial assist, he was the engine, the artist, the finisher. His performance was nothing short of legendary. In the post-game interview, his voice thick with emotion, he dedicated the win not just to his teammates, but to an entire generation. "This victory isn't just for us," he said. "It's for every kid in Luxembourg who dreams of playing football. We showed that anything is possible." Those words resonate far beyond the stadium walls, inspiring a nation to dream bigger than ever before. He's right. Tonight, they didn't just win a game, they ignited a million dreams. On the other side of this historic result, there's disappointment, but also respect. The German coach, a figure of stoicism, faced the cameras with a grim but honest assessment. "They played with passion and discipline," he admitted. "We made mistakes, and they punished us. That's football." It's a bitter pill to swallow for the 4-time world champions, but a powerful acknowledgement of Luxembourg's superiority on the night. There were no excuses, only a stark recognition that they were outplayed, out-hustled, and out-hearted. This wasn't a fluke, it was a masterclass in determination. Within seconds of the final whistle, the digital world caught fire. Social media became a global stadium, with fans from every corner of the planet joining the chorus of disbelief and admiration. Hashtags trended, and headlines screamed from every news outlet. "Luxembourg shocks the world," one read. Another declared, "A giant falls, a dream rises." It was a digital tidal wave of pure, unadulterated joy. Clips of Rodriguez's sensational goals went viral, replayed millions of times, each view a testament to his incredible skill. A moment of individual brilliance that became a collective memory for the world. Back in Luxembourg, the celebration was just beginning. The streets of Luxembourg City transformed into a massive party. People poured out of their homes, waving flags, singing, and embracing strangers like family. The night sky, usually dark and quiet, was illuminated by a spectacular display of fireworks, each burst of color reflecting the pride and euphoria of a nation united in victory. This wasn't just a win. It was a national event, a moment of collective identity, the biggest triumph in the country's footballing history. For Germany, it's a harsh wake-up call, a humbling reminder that in the beautiful game, heart can sometimes outweigh history. No team is too small to dream, and no giant is too big to fall. And for Luxembourg, it's the ultimate proof that with courage, unwavering teamwork, and an unbreakable belief in yourselves, the impossible is just a 90-minute game away. What an unforgettable night for football. A true testament to the magic of the World Cup. Thank you so much for watching and reliving this incredible story with us. If you love underdog stories and the beautiful game, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another moment of football history. We'll see you in the next one. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into one of the most incredible football comebacks we've seen in a long time. It's a story of early domination, a seemingly insurmountable lead, and a second-half fight back that will have you on the edge of your seat. This is the unforgettable clash between Slovakia and Northern Ireland. The match kicked off in high gear, and Slovakia wasted no time asserting their dominance. Their attacking trio, Andrzej Duda, Robert Boženík, and Stanislav Lobotka, looked absolutely unstoppable right from the first whistle, and it didn't take long for them to strike. In just the 7th minute, a perfect through ball from Lobotka sliced open the Northern Ireland defense. Boženík timed his run perfectly, latched onto it, and calmly slotted the ball past the goalkeeper. 1-0, Slovakia. The stadium erupted in cheers. The Slovak fans were already celebrating like they knew something big was coming. Just 10 minutes later, Slovakia doubled their lead. A corner swung in by Kuka found the towering Milan Skriniar, who rose highest and powered an unstoppable header into the net. 2-0, Slovakia. The energy inside the stadium was absolutely electric. You could feel the momentum was entirely with them. But Slovakia weren't done. They kept pushing, pressing Northern Ireland's defense with incredible pace and precision. Then, in the 26th minute, they scored again. This time, Andrzej Duda unleashed an absolute thunderbolt from outside the box. The ball flew past the diving keeper and rocketed into the top corner, a stunning strike. 3-0 to Slovakia. It was complete and utter domination. 3 goals in less than 30 minutes. At this point, Northern Ireland looked stunned, bewildered, and completely out of the contest. Many teams would have crumbled under this kind of pressure, but what came next proved their fighting spirit was far from dead. As the second half began, a completely different Northern Ireland team emerged from the tunnel. You could see a new fire in their eyes. They started pressing high, winning the ball back and showing the kind of grit their fans are famous for. It was in the 53rd minute that their hard work finally paid off. A brilliant cross from the right wing found Paddy McNair, who made a darting run into the box and volleyed it home. 3-1. A lifeline. The traveling Northern Irish fans who had been quiet for so long suddenly found their voice again. Hope was in the air. That goal completely changed the dynamic of the match. Suddenly, it was Slovakia who looked rattled. Northern Ireland kept pouring forward, wave after wave of attack. Then, in the 71st minute, chaos erupted in the Slovakian penalty area. After a goalmouth scramble, the ball fell to Johnny Evans. The experienced defender kept his cool and poked the ball over the line. 3-2. The comeback was well and truly on. The stadium was buzzing with tension and excitement. Could they actually do it? With the clock ticking down and the score at 3-2, the atmosphere was thick with anticipation. Both sides were giving it everything they had. Slovakia was desperately trying to hold on, while Northern Ireland was throwing everyone forward, searching for that one final, glorious chance. In the 88th minute, a long ball was launched into the box. It was headed down, and there was Connor Washington, who had been a constant threat since coming on. He swiveled and fired a shot into the bottom corner. Goal. 3-3. Unbelievable. The Northern Ireland players and fans went absolutely wild. From 3-0 down, they had pulled off a truly miraculous comeback. What a game. It just goes to show that in football, you can never give up. It's a testament to the resilience and spirit of Northern Ireland. A match that will be remembered for years to come. What did you think of this incredible turnaround? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss another epic football story. We'll see you in the next one. Welcome back, everyone, to a second half that had everything on the line. The big question on everyone's lips: could Northern Ireland claw their way back, or would Slovakia slam the door shut and secure the win? Well, Slovakia didn't just answer that question, they answered it with thunder. The action kicked off almost immediately. Just 10 minutes into the half, in the 55th minute, the stadium absolutely erupted. The midfield maestro, Lobotka, spotted an opening and threaded a perfect defense-splitting pass through to Boženík. With the defender on his back, Bozanic executed a brilliant spin, creating just enough space to get his shot away. He didn't hesitate, firing a low, powerful drive right into the far corner of the net. 4-2 to Slovakia. The home fans went absolutely ballistic. It was a textbook example of how to break down a defense: vision, skill, and a clinical finish. What a goal! Northern Ireland, to their credit, didn't just roll over. They tried to respond, throwing everything they had forward in an attempt to get back into the game. They pushed for another goal, hoping to reignite that comeback spark. But this time, the Slovakian defense was a fortress. The towering figures of Skriniar and Hanko were simply immense at the back. They were everywhere, blocking shots, intercepting crosses, and snuffing out every single counterattack before it could even begin. You could feel the momentum of the match shift decisively. The hope that had been brewing for the visitors was fading, replaced by the sheer dominance of the home side. And then, just as Northern Ireland was running out of ideas, Slovakia delivered the final, devastating blow. In the 74th minute, Andrzej Duda, who already had one goal to his name, decided he wasn't done yet. He wanted to create a moment that nobody in this stadium would ever forget. Picking up the ball just inside the opposition's half, he set off on a mesmerizing run. He glided past one defender, then another, as if they weren't even there. With the goal in his sights from about 25 yards out, he unleashed an absolute rocket. The ball curled beautifully, unstoppably, into the top corner of the net. The goalkeeper had no chance. 5-2, and the game was over. The stadium exploded in a symphony of cheers, chants, and pure, unadulterated joy. It was a moment of individual brilliance that perfectly capped off an incredible team performance. That goal was the cherry on top. It wasn't just a win for Slovakia. It was a statement. They had faced adversity, weathered the storm, and come back stronger, securing the victory in the most breathtaking style imaginable. The final whistle blew on a truly unforgettable night of football. For Northern Ireland, it was a tale of what could have been, but for Slovakia, it was a masterclass in resilience and firepower. What a game! What a performance! Thank you so much for watching with us today. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss another moment of the action. We'll see you in the next one. Hey, everyone, and welcome back. If you thought this match was over, you were in for a massive surprise. Just when it looked like Slovakia was cruising to an easy victory, Northern Ireland decided to flip the script and show us the true meaning of fighting spirit. They came out with a completely different mindset, contesting every single ball and reminding everyone why they are a force to be reckoned with. The turning point came in the 34th minute. It was a moment of pure quality. Paddy McNair, with incredible vision, whipped in a perfect cross. Waiting in the box was Josh McGuinness, who made no mistake, smashing the ball home from close range. The score was 3-1. The stadium erupted. You could see the green and white flags waving wildly in the stands as the Northern Irish fans exploded with joy. That goal wasn't just a number on the scoreboard, it was a lifeline. You could physically see the shift in momentum. The fire was back in their eyes. Northern Ireland started pressing high up the pitch, winning those crucial 50-50 battles and launching attacks with real intent. Slovakia, who had looked so comfortable, suddenly seemed rattled. The pressure was building, and you could feel that something special was about to happen. And then, just moments before the halftime whistle, it did. What a goal this was! George Saville picked up the ball about 20 yards from goal. With a touch of pure genius, he curled a magnificent shot right into the top corner. The Slovakian goalkeeper stretched, but he had absolutely no chance. 3-2. From a seemingly impossible position, the game was suddenly wide open. The halftime whistle blew to a roar of applause with the score at 3-2 to Slovakia. Everyone in the stadium, and everyone watching at home, knew one thing for sure. The second half was going to be absolutely explosive. Slovakia came out for the second half with a point to prove. They knew they had let Northern Ireland back into the game and were determined to regain control. Their coach must have delivered one heck of a halftime team talk because they looked like a different side. They started passing the ball with precision, moving with intelligence, and patiently probing for an opening in that resilient Northern Irish defense. Their composure was incredible. Instead of panicking, they slowed the game down, dictated the tempo, and began to wear down their opponents. Their midfield, which had been overrun at the end of the first half, started to dominate once again. They were winning the ball back, recycling possession, and looking for that killer pass to put the game to bed. And in the 65th minute, their masterclass paid off. It was a goal born from patience and quality. A beautiful flowing move saw the ball worked out to the wing. A low, hard cross was fizzed into the penalty area, and their star striker, who had been quiet for a spell, made a brilliant run to get ahead of his marker. With a deft, first-time finish, he slotted the ball past the keeper. 4-2. The Slovakian bench erupted, and their fans were in dreamland. It was a clinical, devastating goal that showcased their technical superiority and calmed their nerves. That goal seemed to break Northern Ireland's hearts. After fighting back so bravely, conceding again was a massive psychological blow. Slovakia saw their chance and went for the kill. They continued to dominate possession, creating several more chances as the Northern Irish players began to tire. Then, with just 10 minutes left on the clock, they sealed the victory. Thanks so much for watching. It was an incredible journey through one of the most exciting matches we've seen in a long time. If you enjoyed this breakdown, please hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss another video. We'll see you in the next one. What a night! What a game! The final whistle has blown, and the stadium is absolutely electric. For anyone who just tuned in, you've missed one of the most incredible matches of the Intercontinental World FIFA Cup 2025-26 so far. Slovakia 5, Northern Ireland 2. An absolute goal fest that had us on the edge of our seats for the full 90 minutes. As the Slovakian players celebrate on the pitch, you can see the sheer joy and relief on their faces. They came into this match with a plan, and they executed it to perfection. They're embracing, they're celebrating with their fans, and they know they've just delivered a performance that will be talked about for years to come. This wasn't just a win, it was a statement. And at the heart of it all was one man, Andrzej Duda. What a performance! He was absolutely unplayable tonight. With 2 incredible goals and a brilliant assist, he was the creative engine that drove Slovakia forward. It was no surprise when he was named man of the match. In his post-match interview, he was humble, crediting the entire team's effort. He said, "We played as one team. We knew Northern Ireland would fight, but we trusted our style and stayed focused. This win means a lot for our country." You could hear the passion in his voice, the pride he has in representing his nation. This victory clearly means everything to them. Now, let's talk about Northern Ireland. The scoreline might look tough, but don't let it fool you. They showed incredible heart and resilience. They never gave up, fighting back with everything they had. Their captain, despite the obvious disappointment, was a picture of sportsmanship. "We gave it everything," he said. "We came back strong, but Slovakia were outstanding tonight. We'll learn and come back even better." That's the spirit of a true competitor. They may have lost the match, but they won a lot of respect for their never-say-die attitude. The reaction online has been absolutely explosive. Social media is on fire. My timeline is just a sea of fire emojis and praise for both teams. Fans are tweeting things like, "What a game! Best one of the tournament so far," and "Slovakia are on fire. Are they the dark horses?" And plenty of love for Northern Ireland, too. Northern Ireland never gave up. Massive respect. It's moments like these that unite football fans around the world. The highlights are already going viral, showcasing 7 stunning goals and moments of pure footballing genius. This is why we call it the beautiful game. With this monumental win, Slovakia has firmly established themselves as a top contender. They've sent a clear message to every other team in the tournament. We are here to win. For Northern Ireland, they leave with their heads held high, knowing they were part of one of the most entertaining matches we've seen this season. They left everything on the pitch and gave their fans a spectacle to remember. As the stadium lights begin to dim and the last of the fans head home, the echoes of this incredible night will linger. This was more than just a football match. It was 90 minutes of pure drama, passion, and history. It was a showcase of skill, determination, and the unbreakable spirit of competition. If you missed it, I'm telling you, go and find those highlights right now. Slovakia versus Northern Ireland, 5-2, will undoubtedly go down in the history books as one of the greatest games of the season. An unforgettable night of football magic. Thanks for watching, everyone. What was your favorite moment from the match? Let me know down in the comments. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more coverage of the Intercontinental World FIFA Cup. We'll see you for the next one. What a night! What a game! The stadium was absolutely electric, buzzing with anticipation for the Intercontinental UEFA League World Showdown between Singapore and India. Fans from both nations packed the stands, their colors flying high, ready for a match that would go down in history. The 2025-26 season had already given us some unforgettable moments, but trust me, this one was on another level. From the very first whistle, you could just feel the raw intensity. Singapore, with the roaring home crowd behind them, was determined to make a statement. But India, they came in with a fire in their eyes, a team transformed, hungry to prove they belong on the world stage. As the ball got rolling, it was immediately clear this wasn't just another football match. It was a clash of wills, a test of skill, and a true battle of heart. Right out of the gate, Singapore seized control. They were sharp, they were aggressive, and their captain, Hassan Rahman, was an absolute force of nature, weaving through the Indian defense with incredible ease. And then, just 12 minutes in, it happened. Farhan Lim unleashed a stunning strike that curled right into the top corner. Goal! The stadium erupted. 1-0 to Singapore. Before India could even catch their breath, Singapore came charging back. In the 24th minute, a perfectly weighted through ball from Rahman found Tan Ji Wei, who made no mistake, coolly finishing past the keeper. 2-0. The Singaporean bench was ecstatic, and it looked like the hosts were about to run away with it. For Indian fans everywhere, a familiar sense of dread began to creep in. Was this another night of disappointment? But what unfolded next was something nobody could have predicted. It was the start of one of the greatest comebacks you will ever see. Down 2-0, with their backs against the wall, India needed a hero. And that hero emerged in the form of their star striker, Arjun Kumar. Just before halftime in the 43rd minute, Kumar received the ball just outside the box, took one touch to set himself, and unleashed a thunderbolt that flew past the diving Singaporean keeper. 2-1. A glimmer of hope. The Indian fans found their voice again, and you could feel the momentum starting to shift. As the second half kicked off, the atmosphere was completely different. India came out with renewed purpose, pressing high and playing with a newfound confidence. The Singaporean defense, which had looked so solid, suddenly appeared vulnerable. In the 65th minute, after a period of sustained pressure, India won a free kick in a dangerous area. Up stepped the young midfielder, Rohan Sharma. He took a deep breath and, with perfect technique, curled the ball over the wall and into the net. 2-2. Pandemonium in the Indian section. From 2-0 down, they had fought their way back. The game was now on a knife's edge. Both teams threw everything they had at each other, creating chances at both ends. But as the clock ticked towards the final minutes, it was India who looked more likely to find a winner. And in the 88th minute, they did. A swift counterattack saw Arjun Kumar race clear of the defense. With the keeper rushing out, he calmly chipped the ball over him. 3-2 to India. An incredible turnaround. The stadium was in disbelief. But the drama wasn't over. In the dying moments of stoppage time, with Singapore pushing everyone forward for one last chance, India broke away again. The ball fell to substitute Samir Ali, who sprinted towards an open goal and tapped it in to make it 4-2. The final whistle blew, sealing a legendary victory for India. From heartbreak to pure elation, it was a night that shocked the stadium and will be remembered forever. What an unbelievable performance. That's the magic of football, folks. A game isn't over until the final whistle. If you enjoyed these highlights, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss an incredible match like this one. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Just when Singapore thought they had the game locked down, the Indian spirit ignited. The whole stadium felt the shift in the 32nd minute. A perfect corner kick came sailing in, and who was there to meet it? None other than Sunil Chhetri Jr., living up to his legendary name, with a powerful header that flew straight into the net. The Indian fans went wild. The score was 2-1, and just like that, India was back in the fight. You could see the change immediately. India started pressing with incredible energy, their passes became sharp and precise, and their confidence soared. Then, just before halftime in the 41st minute, the magic happened again. The young midfield maestro, Anirudh Singh, found a pocket of space just outside the box. He took a touch, looked up, and curled a magnificent shot right into the top corner. Goal! An absolute stunner. The scoreboard flashed 2-2, and the momentum had completely swung in India's favor. As the halftime whistle blew, the Singapore players looked shell-shocked. Their early lead had evaporated, and the determined look on the Indian players' faces said it all. The Singapore fans fell silent, knowing this second half was going to be an intense battle. The second half began with both teams firing on all cylinders. Singapore desperately tried to wrestle back control, but India had found their groove. The midfield trio of Anirudh Singh, Ravi Menon, and Arjun Khatri put on a masterclass, controlling the ball, dictating the pace, and wearing down the Singaporean defense with their relentless movement. The pressure kept building, and in the 58th minute, it paid off. Ravi Menon unleashed a low, driving shot from distance. It took a slight deflection, just enough to wrong-foot the keeper, and trickled over the line. India led 3-2. The entire Indian bench erupted, flags were waving, and the stadium was buzzing with celebration. Of course, Singapore wasn't going to go down without a fight. They threw everything they had forward, making attacking changes and creating some heart-stopping moments. One shot cannoned off the post, and another was denied by a world-class save from our keeper, Raj Bansal. The tension was unbelievable. Every tackle, every pass felt like it could decide the match. But India weathered the storm and prepared to deliver the final blow. In the 81st minute, a lightning-fast counterattack caught Singapore off guard. Anirudh Singh, who was having the game of his life, sprinted down the left wing and whipped in a flawless cross. And who was there waiting in the box? You guessed it. Sunil Chhetri Jr. rose high, met the ball with another perfect header, and bang! 4-2. The comeback was complete. India had flipped the game on its head, leaving Singapore and their fans completely stunned. What an incredible performance! This match wasn't just a win, it was a statement. It showed the world the heart, the resilience, and the sheer talent of this Indian team. From being 2 goals down to a spectacular 4-2 victory, every player gave their all. The combination of veteran spirit and youthful energy proved to be unstoppable. Sunil Chhetri Jr. showed he's ready to carry the torch, while Anirudh Singh announced himself as a future superstar. This is a new era for Indian football, and if this game is anything to go by, the future is incredibly bright. It was a victory forged in determination and celebrated with passion. A truly unforgettable night for Indian football. Thank you so much for watching this incredible highlight reel with me. What a game! If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more football content, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss an update. Let me know in the comments what your favorite moment of the match was. Until next time, take care. What a match! The final whistle echoes through the stadium, and the scoreboard tells a tale of sheer, unadulterated drama. Singapore 2, India 4. For anyone watching those first 25 minutes, this result would have seemed impossible. This wasn't just a game. It was a comeback for the ages, a monumental display of heart, resilience, and tactical genius that will be a highlight of the 2025-26 Intercontinental UEFA League World season. As the final whistle blew, the Indian players erupted. It was a scene of pure joy and relief. They embraced, they roared, they waved the national flag with a pride that resonated with every single one of their fans. This victory was more than just 3 points. It was a powerful statement to the entire footballing world. It was a declaration that India is no longer here to just participate. They are here to compete, to fight for every ball, and to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. They are contenders, and this match proved it beyond any doubt. On the other side of the pitch, the Singaporean players, though visibly heartbroken, walked off with their heads held high. They had started the game like a house on fire, showcasing incredible skill and taking a commanding lead. But they learned a tough, unforgiving lesson tonight. Football is a 90-minute game. It's not just about a strong start. It's about maintaining relentless focus, discipline, and energy until the very end. They showed moments of pure brilliance, but India's endurance ultimately won the day. For the fans packed into the stadium and the millions watching around the globe, this was a roller coaster of emotions. We witnessed spectacular goals, heart-stopping drama, raw passion, and moments of pure footballing magic. Commentators are already calling it one of the greatest turnarounds in recent football memory, and it's hard to disagree. The momentum shift was so palpable it felt like the entire stadium was tilting in India's favor. From the despair of going 2 goals down to the sheer elation of a 4-goal comeback, this match had everything. India's coach made some inspired substitutions at halftime, and the players responded with a second-half performance that was nothing short of legendary. They pressed higher, passed quicker, and their finishing was clinical. Each goal was a testament to their unwavering belief that the game was far from over. As the stadium lights begin to dim and the echoes of the celebration fade into the night, one thing is absolutely certain. This match will be etched into the history books. It will be remembered as the night India, against all odds, roared back to glory, reminding us all why we love this beautiful game. It's about passion, perseverance, and the belief that anything is possible. What a game! What a story! Singapore started strong, but India finished stronger. A classic battle of heart over circumstance. If you enjoyed this thrilling highlight breakdown, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another epic match story like this. Football fans, drop your thoughts in the comments. Who was your man of the match? And do you think India can keep this winning streak alive in the next round? Stay tuned for more action-packed football stories, only here, where every match turns into a story worth remembering. What is up, football fans, and welcome to a night that will be forever etched in the history of the beautiful game. You are watching the full match highlights of what can only be described as a miracle on the pitch. Northern Ireland versus Germany, Intercontinental World FIFA Cup 2025-26. The final score? Northern Ireland 5, Germany 2. No, you're not dreaming. This really happened. Tonight, under the brilliant stadium lights, we witnessed something truly special. It was a night where passion outshone power, where unwavering belief toppled decades of experience. Germany, the titans of world football, a team brimming with world-class talent and tactical genius, entered this arena as the overwhelming favorites. Everyone expected a routine win for the Giants. Everyone, that is, except the 11 heroes in green and white and their incredible fans. On the other side stood Northern Ireland, a team fueled by pride, grit, and an unbreakable spirit. They weren't just here to compete. They were here to prove that in football, heart and unity can defy all odds. The atmosphere was absolutely electric from the start. A sea of green and white flags waved under the night sky, and the roar of the crowd was deafening, a symphony of hope and defiance. From the very first blow of the whistle, you could feel it in the air. And this wasn't just another game of football. This was destined to be a legendary battle. Let's rewind to the opening minutes. Germany, as expected, came out strong, controlling possession with their signature precision passing. They were calm, composed, and looked every bit the footballing superpower they are. They created a few early chances, testing the Northern Ireland defense, which stood firm like a fortress. You could see the German players moving the ball around, looking for that inevitable opening, that moment of magic to put them ahead. But Northern Ireland's defense was organized, disciplined, and relentless. They closed down spaces, they tackled with ferocity, and they refused to be intimidated. Every block, every interception was met with a thunderous roar from their supporters. Then, against the run of play, it happened. The moment that ignited the flame. A swift counterattack, a moment of pure inspiration. Northern Ireland surged forward, the ball moving from defense to attack in the blink of an eye. A perfectly weighted through ball split the German backline, and with a finish that was both cool and clinical, the underdogs were in front. The stadium erupted. It was a goal that sent shockwaves through the German team and sent the Northern Irish fans into absolute ecstasy. You could see the disbelief on the faces of the German players. This wasn't part of their script. Germany tried to respond immediately, pressing high and pushing for an equalizer. But Northern Ireland, buoyed by their lead and the incredible energy from the stands, were simply unstoppable. It felt like every 50-50 ball went their way. Before Germany could even regroup, a stunning long-range strike found the back of the net. 2-0. It was a goal of pure audacity, a moment of individual brilliance that encapsulated the team's courage. The German defense looked stunned, their world-class keeper left with no chance. The dream was becoming a reality. The rest of the match was a blur of passion, drama, and breathtaking football. Germany, to their credit, fought back. They managed to pull 2 goals back, reminding everyone of their quality and why they are such a feared opponent. For a moment, it seemed like the giant was awakening, ready to crush the fairy tale. But this Northern Ireland team was different. They refused to crumble. They met every German attack with even greater determination. They didn't just defend. They attacked with flair and confidence, scoring 3 more incredible goals. Each one was a testament to their teamwork, their resilience, and their sheer desire to win. The final whistle blew, confirming the impossible. Northern Ireland 5, Germany 2. Players collapsed to the ground, not in exhaustion, but in pure, unadulterated joy. Tears flowed freely, both on the pitch and in the stands. This wasn't just a victory, it was a statement. It was a reminder to football fans everywhere that on any given night, anything is possible. This is why we love this game. For nights like these. For the moments that defy logic and inspire millions. A night no one expected. The night the giant fell. A truly historic, unbelievable, and shocking result that will be talked about for generations to come. Thank you so much for reliving this incredible match with us. What a game! What a story! If you enjoyed this, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss another moment of football magic. Until next time, take care. Folks, welcome back to the channel. And today we're diving into a football match that will go down in history, a true David versus Goliath story that had the entire world on the edge of its seat. We're talking about the day Northern Ireland, a team of warriors, took on the mighty German machine. The atmosphere was electric, but no one, absolutely no one, could have predicted what was about to happen. Right from the first whistle, Northern Ireland came out like a team possessed. Forget sitting back and defending. They were all about high-pressing, relentless energy. They fought for every single ball, and you could see the surprise on the German players' faces. They were completely caught off guard. Then, just 6 minutes into the game, the dream began to take shape. Captain Stephen Davis, a true leader, played an absolutely sublime through ball. It sliced through the German defense, and who was there to meet it? Josh McGuinness. He outpaced his marker, kept his composure, and coolly slotted the ball past the keeper. 1-0 to Northern Ireland. The stadium went absolutely ballistic. The roar was deafening. Germany, the four-time world champions, tried to find their rhythm to impose their usual calm, controlled style of play. But Northern Ireland weren't having any of it. They were like terriers, snapping at their heels, winning every 50-50 challenge. The passion was incredible. Every tackle, every interception was met with a roar from the crowd. You could feel the fire burning in every single Northern Irish player. And just when you thought things couldn't get any more intense, they did. At the 18-minute mark, George Saville picked up the ball from about 30 yards out. He let fly with a speculative strike. It took a wicked deflection off a defender and looped over the helpless German goalkeeper into the back of the net. 2-0. 2. The place erupted. Fans were hugging strangers. They were jumping, singing, tears streaming down their faces. It was pure, unadulterated joy. A nation was witnessing the impossible unfold before their very eyes. That second goal was the wake-up call Germany desperately needed. They finally started to click, moving the ball with more speed and precision. Their world-class talent began to show. In the 27th minute, the pressure told. A quick interchange of passes on the edge of the box found Kai Havertz in a pocket of space. With the class we all know he possesses, he took a touch and calmly finished, slotting it into the bottom corner. 2-1. You could feel a collective sigh of relief from the German bench and a wave of nervousness sweep through the home fans. It felt like the tide was turning. The German machine was finally starting to rumble, and many thought the comeback was inevitable. But Northern Ireland's spirit was unbreakable. They weathered the storm, held their defensive shape, and looked for their moment. And that moment came just before the halftime whistle, in the most dramatic fashion possible. Germany pushed forward, lost possession, and suddenly a lightning-fast counterattack was on. The ball was launched forward to Shane Lavery, who used his pace to break clean through the German high line. It was just him and the keeper. The entire stadium held its breath. Lavery looked up, picked his spot, and unleashed an unstoppable rocket into the top corner of the net. 3-1. 3-1 to Northern Ireland. The halftime whistle blew moments later, and the scenes were just unbelievable. The underdogs weren't just winning, they were dominating. They were in complete control, and their fans were living an absolute dream. Thank you so much for joining me on this incredible journey back in time. What a first half. If you're enjoying this, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss the second half of this epic encounter. Drop a comment below with your favorite moment from the first half. See you in a bit. Welcome back, everyone. The second half is underway, and as expected, Germany has come out swinging. They know they need a goal, and they need it fast. Sané, Musiala, Müller, the entire German attacking line is pushing forward, throwing everything they have at the Northern Irish defense. The pressure is immense. The green and white wall is holding, but for how long? And there it is. In the 52nd minute, Germany finds a way through. A beautiful, incisive cross whipped in by Leroy Sané, and who else but the wily veteran Thomas Müller is there to meet it? A perfectly placed header, and it's 3-2. The German fans, who were stunned into silence, have found their voice again. The Allianz Arena is rocking, and suddenly, it's game on. The momentum has shifted, and Northern Ireland is now under the cosh. For the next 15 minutes, it is pure, relentless pressure from the Germans. It's wave after wave of attack. Crosses flying in, shots raining down on the Northern Irish goal. But my word, look at that defense. Johnny Evans and Paddy McNair are playing out of their skins. They are absolute warriors back there, throwing themselves in front of every shot, heading away every cross, putting their bodies on the line for the badge. This is heroic, backs to the wall defending. Can they hold on? Just when you think Northern Ireland can't take any more, the game turns on its head. This is the moment that will be talked about for years to come. In the 67th minute, Germany commits too many men forward, they get caught out, and Northern Ireland springs the trap. A lightning-fast counterattack. Ali McCann, with blistering pace, tears down the right wing. He looks up, spots the run, and delivers an absolutely perfect cross into the box. And who is there to meet it? It's him again, Josh Magennis. He soars through the air, rising above the German defenders like a salmon, and powers a header into the back of the net. Goal! It's 4-2. Unbelievable. The Northern Irish fans are going absolutely wild. The roar is deafening. It's shaking the very foundations of this stadium. Look at the faces of the German players. They are stunned, shell-shocked. They're looking at each other in complete disbelief. They threw the kitchen sink at Northern Ireland, and the boys in green weathered the storm and hit them with a knockout blow. This isn't just a goal, it's a statement. Against all odds, on one of the biggest stages, the underdog has just outplayed one of the giants of world football. What a night, what a performance. This is what football is all about. Thank you so much for joining me for this incredible match. If you enjoyed this commentary, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss a moment. Until next time, take care. With the clock ticking down and Germany desperate for a miracle, they threw everything they had forward. You could feel the tension in the stadium, every pass, every tackle holding the collective breath of thousands. But Northern Ireland, they weren't just defending, they were a green and white wall, organized, disciplined, and buzzing with an energy that seemed to defy the very laws of physics. They had belief, and they were still dangerous, looking for that one chance to break and seal the deal. And then, in the 81st minute, it happened. A moment of pure, unadulterated football magic that will be replayed for generations. Substitute Connor Washington, fresh onto the pitch, picked up the ball just inside the German half. He wasn't just running, he was gliding. He shimmied past one defender, a quick feint, a burst of pace, and suddenly he had space. From a good 25 yards out, with defenders scrambling to close him down, he let fly. It wasn't just a shot, it was a rocket, a thunderbolt that screamed through the air, leaving the goalkeeper rooted to the spot as it nestled right into the top corner. 5-2. An absolute screamer. The stadium erupted. It was a single, primal roar of disbelief and ecstasy. Strangers were hugging, flags were a blur of green and white, and tears of joy were streaming down faces. On the pitch, the players sprinted to the corner flag, a pile of limbs and emotion, celebrating with a passion that felt like they'd just conquered the world. And in that moment, for every Northern Ireland fan, they had. You just had to look at the German players to understand the magnitude of what had just occurred. They were shell-shocked, their world-class defense dismantled, their midfield bypassed, their spirit broken by a team running on pure heart. Even their manager stood motionless, a picture of stunned disbelief. As the final 10 minutes played out, there was no letting up from the men in green. Every tackle was made with the same intensity as the first. Every 50-50 ball was contested with ferocious desire. There was no arrogance, no taunting, just a profound display of discipline and respect for the game, for the moment. They were playing for the crest on their chests, for the fans in the stands, for the history they were about to make. Then, the sound that every fan had been waiting for. The referee raised the whistle to his lips. A long final blast echoed around the stadium, and it was over. Players collapsed to the turf, overwhelmed by emotion. Some knelt in prayer, others were embraced by teammates, tears flowing freely. They had done it. Against all odds, they had not just won. They had delivered a performance for the ages. This wasn't just a victory, it was a statement. This was the night a small nation stood tall and showed the world the incredible power of heart, courage, and unwavering belief. This was Northern Ireland's glory. Thank you so much for joining us on this incredible journey. If you loved reliving this historic match as much as I did, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next story. Until then, take care. When that final whistle blew, it wasn't just the end of a match, it was the start of a legend. The scoreboard lit up with the scoreline nobody, and I mean nobody, saw coming. Northern Ireland 5, Germany 2. Commentators were scrambling for words, calling it one of the biggest, most shocking upsets in modern football history. The entire world just stopped and stared. What did we just witness? Instantly, the internet absolutely erupted. Social media feeds were a blur of green and white. You saw posts like, "Northern Ireland just destroyed Germany. This is unreal." And the passion, the teamwork, the belief. This is exactly why we love this beautiful game. Everyone was talking about it, from hardcore fans to people who barely watch football. It was a moment that transcended the sport. Another tweet I saw summed it up perfectly. A night that proves anything is possible on the pitch. And wasn't it just? In the post-match interview, you could see the raw emotion on Captain Stephen Davis's face. He was almost lost for words. "People doubted us," he said, his voice thick with pride, "but we believed in ourselves. We played with pride, and tonight, every single Northern Irish fan can be proud. This win is for them." It was a powerful moment, a captain dedicating a historic victory to the people who never stopped believing. This wasn't just about tactics or skill. This was about pure heart. On the other side, German coach Julian Nagelsmann was a class act in defeat. No excuses, no deflections. He was honest and gracious. "Northern Ireland were outstanding tonight," he admitted. "They wanted it more. We have to look at ourselves, and we'll learn from this." It takes a great leader to acknowledge when you've been outplayed and outfought, and Nagelsmann showed immense respect for what the Northern Irish team had just accomplished. It was a lesson in humility for one of football's giants. And the celebrations. Oh, the celebrations. Back in Belfast, the streets transformed into a sea of green and white. People were flooding out of pubs and homes, singing songs, waving flags, and celebrating deep into the night. It was pure, unadulterated joy. This wasn't just about a football win. It was a victory for the spirit of a nation, for teamwork, and for daring to dream. You could feel the energy from thousands of miles away. It was a party that the city will remember for decades. This match will be etched into the history books of the Intercontinental World FIFA Cup 2025-26. It's a game we'll be telling our kids about. It serves as the ultimate reminder that football isn't just about the big names, the massive transfer fees, or the billion-dollar squads. It's about moments. It's about passion. It's about the incredible, undeniable power of the underdog. Northern Ireland stepped onto that pitch and showed the world that when you play with heart, when you fight for every ball as a united team, you can beat anyone, even the giants. What a night for football. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you loved this story as much as I did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more incredible football moments. See you in the next one. What a night, what a game, what a performance. Welcome, football fans, to the absolute thriller in Amsterdam, where the Netherlands painted the town orange with a spectacular 5-2 victory over Finland in the FIFA World Cup 2026 qualifiers. If you were here, you felt it. If you weren't, get ready, because we're about to relive every single moment of this electrifying match. The Johan Cruyff Arena was buzzing from the get-go. The sea of orange, the roar of the crowd, the anticipation in the air, it was pure magic. From the first whistle, you could tell the Oranje meant business. They came out with blistering pace. Their passing was crisp and their intent was clear. Dominate. The energy was simply off the charts as they pushed forward, looking to make an early statement. But hold on, Finland wasn't just here for the scenery. They showed incredible heart and discipline, weathering the initial storm and launching some seriously dangerous counterattacks. They found pockets of space and tested the Dutch defense, proving they were a formidable opponent ready to spoil the party. The tension was palpable as both sides battled for control in a gripping opening phase. Then, the breakthrough. The Netherlands unlocked the Finnish defense with a moment of pure genius. A beautiful sequence of one-touch passes, a perfectly weighted through ball, and bam! The net ripples and the stadium erupts. The first goal was a masterclass in team play, showcasing the fluid, attacking football the Dutch are famous for. The relief and joy were immense, but this was just the beginning of the goal fest. Finland, however, refused to back down. They responded with courage, pushing men forward and creating chances of their own. Their persistence paid off when they capitalized on a rare defensive lapse from the Netherlands, silencing the home crowd with a well-taken goal. It was game on. At that moment, everyone knew we were in for a classic. Finland's equalizer was a testament to their fighting spirit and tactical awareness. This only seemed to fuel the Dutch fire. Stung by the equalizer, they raised their game to another level. The response was swift and ruthless. Wave after wave of orange attacks crashed against the Finnish defense until they finally broke through again, and then again. It was a breathtaking display of attacking prowess, with goals coming from dazzling individual skill and perfectly executed set pieces. By halftime, the Netherlands had firmly re-established their dominance, showcasing why they are a true force in world football. The second half kicked off with the same incredible intensity. Finland, despite the scoreline, continued to fight for every ball, earning the respect of everyone watching. They even managed to pull another goal back with a stunning, long-range effort that left the keeper with no chance, giving their traveling fans a moment to cherish. It was a goal worthy of any highlight reel and a reminder of Finland's quality. But, in the end, the night belonged to the Netherlands. They sealed their magnificent victory with a fifth goal, putting the finishing touch on a performance that will be remembered for a long time. The final whistle was met with a deafening roar from the Orange Army, celebrating a team that played with passion, skill, and an unstoppable desire to win. A 5-2 scoreline that perfectly captured the drama, excitement, and sheer entertainment of the match. What a night of football! 7 goals, end-to-end action, and an atmosphere that was second to none. This was more than just a qualifier. It was a statement. Thanks for joining us to relive this incredible match. If you enjoyed the highlights, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss another moment of the beautiful game. Until next time, keep the passion for football alive. All right, let's dive into the second half, and folks, this is where the drama truly exploded. The whistle blew, and you could just feel a different energy from the Finnish side. They came out of that locker room with fire in their eyes, knowing they had to throw everything at the Dutch. No more sitting back, no more waiting for a mistake. They were on the front foot, pressing high, and you could sense the desperation, the hunger, the belief that they could still get something from this game. The crowd was buzzing, a mix of nervous energy and raw excitement. Every Finnish attack was met with a roar, every Dutch touch with a chorus of whistles. The game was on a knife's edge. Finland was no longer just trying to survive. They were actively hunting for that equalizer. They pushed forward in waves, their midfield working tirelessly to win back possession and launch quick counterattacks. The Dutch defense, which had looked so comfortable in the first half, suddenly found themselves under real pressure. And then it happened. In the 53rd minute, the moment every Finnish fan had been dreaming of. A moment of hesitation, a slight miscommunication in the Dutch backline. It was all Robin Lod needed. He pounced on the loose ball like a predator, his eyes locked on the goal. The keeper came rushing out, but Lod was composed, clinical. He picked his spot and slotted the ball into the back of the net. 2-2. The stadium erupted. Absolute pandemonium. You couldn't hear yourself think. For that one glorious moment, the impossible felt possible. Could little Finland really topple the mighty Netherlands? The tension was thick enough to cut with a knife. But this is where you see the difference between a good team and a world-class team. The Netherlands didn't panic. They didn't crumble. Instead, they responded with a chilling, ruthless efficiency that defines champions. It was almost immediate. While Finland was still celebrating, still riding that emotional high, the Dutch reset. They got the ball, and they went to work. Just 5 minutes later, the dream turned back into a nightmare for Finland. The move was pure poetry in motion. Denzel Dumfries, who had been a menace all game, picked up the ball on the right flank. He put his head down and just took off, a blur of orange surging past the Finnish defense. His run was powerful, direct, and unstoppable. He reached the byline, looked up, and delivered a cross that was simply perfect. It was one of those deliveries that strikers dream about, curled with pace, precision, and right into the danger zone. And who was there to meet it? The young superstar, Xavi Simons. He had timed his run to perfection, ghosting into the box unmarked. While the Finnish defenders were still trying to reorganize, he was already there, waiting. The ball arrived, and with a calm, almost casual side-foot finish, he guided it past the helpless goalkeeper. 3-2 to the Netherlands. It was a sucker punch, a dagger to the heart of every Finnish player and fan. The celebration was muted, professional. It was a statement. We're back in control. That goal was the turning point. It didn't just change the scoreline. It changed the entire psychology of the match. You could physically see the Finnish shoulders slump. The energy that had been surging through their veins just moments before seemed to drain away. They had given it their all. They had clawed their way back only to have their hopes dashed in an instant. The legs started to get heavy. The passes became less precise, and the belief began to fade. On the other side, the Dutch were reborn. That goal filled them with a renewed sense of confidence and swagger. Suddenly, their passing was crisper, their movement more fluid, their control of the game absolute. Every player in orange looked a foot taller. They started to knock the ball around with an arrogance that said, "The game is ours now." The flair came out, the little flicks and tricks, the seamless one-touch passing triangles that left Finland chasing shadows. The tempo they dictated was relentless, and it was clear that the Dutch were now enjoying themselves, playing with the freedom and creativity that makes them one of the most exciting teams to watch. The Finnish resistance had been broken, and the Netherlands were now in full flight looking to put the game to bed once and for all. What a brutal, brilliant display of football. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this breakdown, do me a huge favor and hit that like button, and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss our next video. Catch you in the next one. The moment that third goal hit the back of the net, everything changed. It was like a switch had been flipped, and suddenly we were witnessing the return of a legend. This wasn't just football anymore. This was art. This was the total football that the Netherlands is famous for, the style that has captivated fans for generations. You could feel the electricity in the stadium. Every single player on that pitch, from the colossal Virgil van Dijk anchoring the defense all the way up to Memphis Depay leading the attack, was moving as one. It was a symphony of movement, a perfectly choreographed dance where every pass, every run, and every decision was in complete harmony. The ball flowed effortlessly from player to player, and Finland, despite their valiant efforts, were simply chasing shadows. This was more than a team playing well. This was a team expressing a footballing philosophy, and it was absolutely breathtaking to watch. As the Dutch machine purred, you just knew another moment of magic was around the corner. And in the 72nd minute it arrived, courtesy of the midfield maestro himself, Frankie de Jong. This is what he does best. With that trademark vision, that uncanny ability to see a pass nobody else can, he spotted a sliver of an opening. He looked up, and with the grace of a master painter, chipped the most delicate, perfectly weighted ball over the top of the entire Finnish defense. It floated through the air, seemingly in slow motion, destined for one man. Rising to meet it was the formidable Wout Weghorst. He timed his jump to perfection, met the ball with immense power, and hammered a header into the goal. 4-2 to the Netherlands. The stadium just exploded. A sea of orange flags waved in unison, and the roar of the crowd was deafening as they chanted the names of their heroes. Even with the scoreline slipping away, you have to give immense credit to Finland. They looked deflated, sure. Who wouldn't? But they never gave up. They kept their heads up. They kept trying to play, showing incredible heart and fighting spirit right until the very end. It's that kind of resilience that earns a team respect, regardless of the final result. But the Dutch were relentless, a tidal wave of orange that just kept coming. In the 85th minute, it was time for the final blow, and it came from a player eager to make his mark. Substitute Daniel Malen, fresh and full of energy, picked up the ball and just took off. He sprinted past two exhausted Finnish defenders who could do little more than watch him go. With the goal in his sights, Malen unleashed a fierce, low drive that arrowed into the far corner of the net. An unstoppable finish. 5-2. The final whistle blew, but the celebration had already begun. The stadium was a cauldron of pure joy, an eruption of sound and color as fans celebrated a truly magnificent performance. This was the statement the Netherlands wanted to make. 5 goals, a 5-star performance, and a display of total control that sent a message to the rest of the world. From the first minute to the last, they had dominated, entertained, and reminded everyone of the beautiful flowing football they are capable of playing. It was a night to remember, a victory that was about more than just the 3 points. It was about reclaiming an identity and playing the game the way it's meant to be played. What an incredible match and what a team. Thank you all so much for joining me for this incredible match recap. It was a joy to break it all down with you. If you enjoyed the video and want more content like this, please hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you never miss an update. We've got plenty more exciting action coming your way. Let me know your thoughts on the game in the comments below. Who was your man of the match? Until next time, take care and see you soon. What an absolute shocker in Seville. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. If you missed the Spain versus Bulgaria match, you missed what might just be the biggest upset of the Intercontinental UEFA League season so far. The final score? Spain 2, Bulgaria 3. I still can't quite believe I'm saying those words. The stage was perfectly set at the Estadio de la Cartuja. Over 50,000 passionate Spanish fans, a sea of red and gold, were buzzing with anticipation. Spain was riding high, coming off a massive 4-0 thrashing of Norway. The bookies, the pundits, myself included, we all thought this was going to be a straightforward night for La Furia Roja. But football, my friends, is a funny old game, and Bulgaria came to Seville with a script of their own. From the opening whistle, you could sense something was different. Spain, with their usual slick passing and possession-based game, looked confident, maybe a little too confident. On the other side, Bulgaria, in their classic white and green, looked hungry. They weren't there to just make up the numbers. They were sharp, they were aggressive, and they fought for every single blade of grass. You could see the fire in their eyes. This was their moment to prove they belong on the big stage, and boy, did they prove it. The drama unfolded faster than anyone could have predicted. Just 12 minutes in, against the run of play, Bulgaria launched a lightning-fast counterattack. Their star striker, let's call him the Bulgarian Bolt, blazed past the Spanish defense and slotted the ball coolly into the bottom corner. The stadium fell silent, except for the small but suddenly very loud pocket of Bulgarian fans going absolutely wild. 1-0 to the underdogs. You could feel the collective gasp around the stadium. A beautiful, curling free kick from their veteran midfielder sailed into the top corner. 1-1. The crowd erupted. Normal service resumed, or so we thought. But the second half was where the real chaos began. Bulgaria came out of the tunnel with even more determination. Just 10 minutes after the restart, a defensive mix-up from Spain, a rare moment of sloppiness, and Bulgaria pounced. A simple tap-in, and it was 2-1. Unbelievable. The Spanish players looked at each other in disbelief. The pressure was mounting. Spain threw everything they had at the Bulgarian defense. They brought on their top scorer, hoping for a bit of magic. And for a moment, it seemed to work. A penalty was awarded in the 75th minute after a clumsy challenge in the box. The captain stepped up, cool as you like, and sent the keeper the wrong way. 2-2. The relief was immense. Surely Spain would go on to win it now. The momentum was all theirs. The crowd was roaring them on, believing in a famous comeback. But the final twist was yet to come. With just 5 minutes left on the clock as Spain pushed for a winner, they were caught on the break again. One long ball over the top, a perfect first touch from the Bulgarian winger, and an even better finish. He chipped the ball over the onrushing Spanish keeper, and it nestled into the back of the net. 3-2 to Bulgaria. The Bulgarian bench cleared. The players on the pitch piled on top of each other. They had done it. They had slayed the giant. What did you guys think of this incredible match? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Were you as shocked as I was? Don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed this recap, and subscribe for more highlights and analysis from the Intercontinental UEFA League. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Alright, let's dive into the action. Just as everyone expected, Spain kicked things off like the powerhouse they are. From the first whistle, It was pure tiki-taka magic. You had Pedri and Rodri in the midfield, just pulling the strings, dictating the tempo like maestros conducting an orchestra. Out on the wings, Ferran Torres and Nico Williams were causing absolute havoc, running at the Bulgarian defense with blistering pace and skill. It felt like a goal was just a matter of time. And then, in the 14th minute, it happened, a moment of pure brilliance. The young sensation, Lamine Yamal, whipped in a cross that was nothing short of perfection. Their passing was so fluid, so crisp it looked like they were playing a different game. They kept probing, searching for that second goal to kill the match off. The Bulgarian defense was under siege, but you have to give them credit. Their keeper and the backline were throwing their bodies on the line, making some heroic blocks to keep their team in the game. It was a classic David versus Goliath scenario, and David was refusing to back down. But just when it seemed like Spain was about to run away with it, the tide began to turn. Slowly but surely, Bulgaria started to find its footing. Kirill Despodov and Ilyan Ilyev began to connect on the counterattack, using their speed to exploit the spaces left behind by Spain's attacking fullbacks. You could feel a shift in the air, a little bit of unease creeping into the stadium. Spain was still dominating possession, but Bulgaria was starting to look dangerous. And then, in the 33rd minute, came the shocker. A moment that left the entire stadium in stunned silence. A quick turnover in midfield, and suddenly Despodov was off to the races. Spain was rattled, and for the first time, Bulgaria truly believed they could get something from this match. What a turnaround. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next video. See you soon. Alright, welcome back everyone. If you thought the first half was a roller coaster, buckle up, because the second half was pure, unadulterated football drama. Spain came out of that locker room a completely different team. You could see the fire in their eyes. The passes were suddenly crisp, the movement was electric, and they were playing with a relentless intensity that had been missing before the break. Coach Luis de la Fuente didn't waste any time. He saw what needed to be done and immediately brought on Dani Olmo for Ferran Torres. It was a clear statement of intent. Spain was going all out for the equalizer, and they were going for it now. It was a piece of pure footballing magic. Pedri, with his incredible vision, played a sublime little flick that sliced open the Bulgarian backline. Who was there to meet it? None other than the substitute, Dani Olmo. He took one touch, looked up, and from just outside the box, unleashed an absolute worldie of a shot. It curled beautifully, majestically, right into the top corner of the net. The goalkeeper had no chance. The stadium absolutely erupted. It was 2-2. Spain was back in the game. At that point, you'd have put your house on Spain going on to win it. They had all the momentum. They were completely dominating possession, pinning Bulgaria deep inside their own half. It felt like a matter of when, not if, the winning goal would come. They were creating chance after chance, a relentless siege on the Bulgarian goal. But credit where credit is due, Bulgaria refused to break. They defended with their lives, throwing bodies on the line. And when the defense was breached, their goalkeeper, Mihailov, turned into a superhero. He pulled off two absolutely heroic saves in quick succession. First, a stunning reflex stop to deny a powerful volley from Morata, and then an incredible fingertip save to push a Rodri header over the bar. It was an astonishing display of goalkeeping under immense pressure. Just when it seemed Spain's dominance would surely pay off, football, in its beautifully unpredictable way, decided to write another twist into this incredible story. In the 78th minute, disaster struck for Spain. A moment of complacency, a lapse in concentration at the back. Laporte, usually so reliable, played a casual, misplaced pass right across his own defense. It was a gift, and Kirill Despodov was there to accept it. Goal! Unbelievable! Against all odds, Bulgaria were back in front, 3-2. The small pocket of Bulgarian fans in the corner of the stadium went absolutely berserk. You could hear their roar above everyone else. Their players on the pitch celebrated with a raw, primal passion. They weren't just players, they were warriors who had faced a giant and were now on the verge of conquering them. It was a moment of pure, unscripted joy and defiance. What an incredible turn of events! You simply cannot write scripts like this. From the brink of being overrun to taking the lead, Bulgaria had shown incredible heart and spirit. What a game this is turning out to be. Thanks so much for watching this breakdown. If you're enjoying this content and want more epic football stories, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell so you never miss an update. See you in the next one. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into one of the most astonishing turnarounds in recent football history. The match that saw Bulgaria, the definitive underdogs, stun the mighty Spanish side in their own backyard. This is the story of the Bulgarian breakthrough. The stage was set in Seville. Spain, a titan of world football, was expected to cruise to an easy victory. And for the first 20 minutes, the script played out exactly as predicted. They controlled the ball, created chances, and looked every bit the dominant force. But then, something shifted. A moment of brilliance, a lapse in concentration. And suddenly, the unthinkable happened. Bulgaria found an equalizer. That single goal didn't just change the scoreline, it changed the entire atmosphere of the game. You could feel it through the screen. Spain, who had been so composed, suddenly looked rattled. Their passes became a little less crisp, their movements a little more frantic. On the other side, Bulgaria was transformed. They weren't just defending anymore. They were playing with a newfound fearlessness, a swagger that said, "We belong here." The energy in the stadium completely flipped. The roar of the Spanish crowd softened into a nervous murmur, watching as this Bulgarian side grew in stature with every passing minute. They started pressing higher up the pitch, closing down spaces, and when they won the ball back, their counterattacks were lightning fast and razor sharp. And then, just 5 minutes after equalizing, in the 38th minute, the moment of magic happened. A long, perfectly weighted free kick was floated into the box by Cristiano. The Spanish defense scrambled, but it was too late. Rising like a salmon above the towering Aymeric Laporte, Atanas Iliev met the ball with a powerful header. The connection was perfect. The ball flew past the keeper and bulged the back of the net. Absolute scenes. The Bulgarian bench erupted, a wave of pure, unadulterated joy. Their coach, a whirlwind of emotion on the sideline, was screaming, not in anger, but with passionate instructions, urging his players to keep their heads, to stay disciplined. The scoreboard now read Spain 1, Bulgaria 2, in Seville. It was a sight no one could have predicted. Spain, stung and shocked, tried to mount an immediate response. They threw everything they had forward, pushing for an equalizer before the break. But the Bulgarian defense, which had looked vulnerable earlier, was now a fortress. They formed a solid, impenetrable wall. Every shot was blocked, every cross was cleared with determination. They fought for every ball as if their lives depended on it. When the halftime whistle blew, a stunned silence fell over the home fans. They stared at the scoreboard in disbelief. Spain had dominated possession, yes, but football isn't won on possession. It's won on goals. And on that front, Bulgaria had completely dominated the first half. A team of underdogs had walked into the lion's den and were not just surviving, they were winning. The second half was set to be an absolute thriller, a true test of Bulgarian resilience and Spanish character. The teams re-emerged from the tunnel, and you could see the tension etched on every player's face. Spain came out firing on all cylinders, playing with a renewed sense of urgency. They were a wounded giant, and they were desperate to restore order. But Bulgaria held firm. Their midfield worked tirelessly, their defenders were heroic, and their goalkeeper pulled off save after incredible save. As the clock ticked past the 70th, then the 80th minute, the hope in the Bulgarian hearts began to turn into genuine belief. This wasn't a fluke anymore. This was a tactical masterclass, a display of pure grit. In the final minutes, with Spain throwing every single player forward, Bulgaria launched one last, decisive counterattack. The ball was played through, and with the Spanish defense completely exposed, their striker slotted it home to make it 3-1. The final whistle blew, confirming one of the greatest upsets in modern football. Bulgaria had done the impossible. They had beaten Spain. It was a victory for the underdog, a reminder that in football, anything is possible. A true testament to heart, courage, and the beautiful unpredictability of the game. What an incredible story. Moments like these are why we love football. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss another story. Until next time, take care.